Number 20, Devin Taylor.
Moments away from first pitch between the Cotuit Kettleers and Bourne Braves here on the Kettleers Radio Network. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Joe Pratt and Adele Huffman. Getting the ball today for the Bourne Braves is the lefty J.D. Thompson, squaring off against Devin Taylor, who leads off. The first pitch to him, a fastball that runs inside. First pitch coming at 6:01. And Joe, this is a Bourne team that has won winners of their last three. So playing good baseball at the right time is the lefty Thompson. High twisting foul ball that gets out of play. Evens the count up at 1-1.
Yeah, Kettleers going into this game following up a Harwich game where they exploded for 16 runs, and a pretty similar lineup for them against J.D. Thompson.
So 1-1 pitch to Taylor. At one fouled away. We'll run through that lineup here. Leading things off is Devin Taylor. Batting behind him, Tanner Thatch. Hitting third, Max Ballou. Fourth is Nathan Hall. Batting fifth, Nolan Araki. Sixth is Grant J. Seventh is Timo Becerra. Eight is Sharon Advincula. And 9 is Luke Hansen. As the 1-2 pitch to Taylor, a high chopper that goes over the glove of Thompson. Fielding it is the second baseman, Kojal, but he doesn't get a throw off as Devin Taylor reaches to begin the ballgame.
Just continues his strong play after
Now batting,
returning from
first
Team
baseman,
USA, was struggling
North
through
Carolina
the
Wilmington,
first couple
number
games
30,
and making that
Tanner
readjustment,
Thatch.
but taking the first pitch of two nights ago's game deep to left center field and already reaching base for the first time today.
Now it's Tanner Thatch digging in. Missed the last 3 games after he was attending a friend's wedding, but Thatch back into a lineup. A much-needed boost as Taylor leads off first to lefty Thompson. Long look at him, glove set above the belt, kicks and deals to Thatch. That one misses low for ball 1. Taking a look at how Bourne lines up defensively, getting the start in left field is Mason Novel. In center, Chris Stanfield. In right field, Ethan Conrad. From third to first, Braden Holcomb, Merrick Houston, Camden Kojal, and Davis Gillespie. And getting the start behind home plate is Ben Hartle. Leading off first is Taylor, kicks and deals the 1-0. Thatch, high chopper that goes over the glove of Davis Gillespie in a right field. Going around second is Taylor, heading into second. Sliding in safely is Tanner Thatch. So Thatch picks up right where he left off of with another extra base hit.
Yeah, great to see Tanner Thatch get back into the lineup and was tearing the cover off the ball after leaving. And that was a stretch of games where Thatch had 3 homers. He lofted himself to the top 2 in the CCBL in home runs. And nice to see that he hasn't skipped a beat.
Now it's Max Ballou coming off of a career day with Cotuit the last time out at Harwich. Was 2 for 4, lasted 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, and comes up in a big spot here. With runners on second and third, still no out. Lefty-lefty matchup here is Thompson will balk, and coming in to score is Devin Taylor. So a pitching miscue from J.D. Thompson plates Cotuit's first run. Is moving up to third is Tanner Thatch as the Kettleers lead 1-0.
Yeah, well, Cotuit taking advantage of 2 balks on Friday night against Harwich, and already the first one today. Scott Landers will walk out of the Bourne dugout right now. He wants an explanation from the first base umpire who made that call. But the Kettleers will take it any way they can get it, and another game where they score the first run and wasting no time here in the top of the first inning. And just so huge to get that first lead of the ball game. We saw it last night and saw it really impact Aiden Hunter. Excuse me, that was 2 nights ago. Last night's game being canceled due to rain. But being able to get that early lead and let your pitchers settle in. We saw it with Aiden Hunter, who settled into his first couple innings nicely. Of course, Harwich had a slight resurgence in their offense through the 4th, 5th innings, but to be able to have great pitching like the Kettleers did and offense from innings 1 through 9 is definitely going to be super important, and it's something that Mike Roberts has talked a lot about.
You mentioned having offense 1 through 9, and Joe, in that game against Harwich, 4 runs in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, 5 in the 9th. So the Kettleers offense coming alive, but it does help to get with an early start. So the mound visit, or the conference is over, is swinging away, is Ballou lofting a fly ball that goes over our heads. J.D. Thompson making his 4th appearance so far this summer. His first start is 1-0, the 1.8 ERA, going 5 innings, striking out 9. His last appearance came against Falmouth a week ago as he comes set, the 1-0 pitch, Ballou, high fly ball going foul, just down the third base line. But Thompson in that game against the Commodores, 3 innings, 9 up, 9 down, 5 strikeouts. So after 2 foul balls, Thompson, the lefty working here against Blue, kicks and deals the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, foul tipped into the glove of Ben Hartle for the first out. Standing on third is still Tanner Thatch.
Well, a lot can change every single day in this game of baseball, as we saw with Max Ballou, who on Thursday night threw 3 innings. We got to see his knuckleball and then responded a night later with 2 home runs, and now starting off this day with a strikeout, really experiencing the ebbs and flows of the game of baseball.
Now it's Nathan Hall, who's coming off of an excellent performance 2 nights ago against Harwich. As the first pitch from the lefty, Thompson misses beneath the knees for ball 1. Against Harwich, Hall was 3 for 4, 3 runs, had an RBI, and that came after not playing in the last 2 games. But Hall making another start in right field today. As the 1-0 from Thompson, this one flared into short left field. Coming on is Mason Novell. But it's the shortstop, Merrick Houston, who makes the play for the second out.
So we got our first looks on Merrick Houston this season. We saw him on the roster the first time we were here at Bourne on June 28th, but then he quickly left to go to the Team USA national team roster, and he gets back in the lineup, one of the only Bourne Braves to not face the Kettleers this season.
Now there's 2 outs. Thatch still remains on third. That brings up the third baseman, Nolan Naraki. As the first pitch from Thompson in there for strike number 1. 3 straight righties to lead off the Kettleers lineup, or 3 straight lefties, followed by 3 righties. As the 0-1, that one misses high and outside from Thompson. They even the count at 1-1. Naraki threw 18 games this summer, hitting .277, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. Thompson comes set, kicks and deals the 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 2. So Thompson quickly pulls ahead of Naraki here with the count at 1-2. Cotuit leading Bourne 1-0 here in the top of the first. Thompson, the lefty, peers over his glove. The 1-2 pitch got him swinging. Nolan Naraki goes down on strikes as J.D. Thompson records his second strikeout, but not before the Kettleers offense comes alive as Devin Taylor leads off the ballgame with a single. He comes around in the score off of the block from J.D. Thompson. We head to the bottom half of the inning with the Kettleers leading the Braves 1-0 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
This Saturday, the Kettleers are reuniting the 1995 champions by welcoming the championship-winning team back to Lowell Park. A blast from the past. Several of the players will take batting practice before a pregame ceremony honoring the team, followed by a group first pitch. The Kettleers will take on Chatham, the team Cotuit beat in 1995 for his 13th CCBL title. Join us in welcoming Kettleers history Saturday, July 13th at Lowell Park.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Kettleers up early here at Doran Park, as Devin Taylor came in to score off the block from J.D. Thompson as the Braves look to respond here in the bottom half of the inning. And Joe, how does Bourne line up?
They'll start off with Merrick Houston batting in the leadoff spot, playing at shortstop. He gets his first start against the Kettleers this summer. Cam Kojal batting second, playing second. Ethan Conrad bats third, plays in right field. Braden Holcomb, the third baseman, third baseman will bat cleanup. Chris Stanfield in straightaway center, he bats fifth. Tristan Becerra, the DH, bats sixth. Ben Hartle, the catcher out of Kansas, behind the dish today. Davis Gillespie bats eighth and plays at first. And Mason Neville, the left fielder, rounds out their order at ninth.
That's a lineup that will be facing the Kettleers starter, Joey Volchko. Volchko so far this summer has a 1-0 record, a 1.69 ERA, making his third appearance, second start. Has gone 5 1/3 innings pitched, allowed just 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, has walked 6 and struck out 9. Volchko last started a week ago today, anti-Annis. And that game went 3 innings, allowed 4 hits, 1 run that wasn't earned, struck out 5, but Joe, control was an issue in that game. 3 walks on 75 pitches.
Yeah, it was. And when you're a guy who throws in the upper 90s, 95 to 97, throwing strikes can be a bit of an issue. And we've seen that for Volchko, who just finished up his freshman year at Stanford and had an incredible campaign in high school. So he's a guy who comes into this season with a lot of hype around him. People know him from Stanford, and him being able to throw above 95 at a clip pretty incredible. And so he gets another start here against Bourne, another one on the road, and we'll see how he fares against the Braves today.
So Volchko, the tall righty, stands on the mound, working out of the windup. His first pitch to Merrick Houston has to back him up out of the box. A righty-righty matchup to begin this bottom half of the inning. First pitch was inside. The 1-0 on the way from Volchko. Taken low and outside for ball 2, and a beautiful day for baseball. Just around 80 degrees. Fans definitely came out lining down the third base and first base lines. As the 2-0 from Volchko to Houston. High lofting foul ball over the press box. Taking a look at the Kettleers defense from left to right in the outfield, Devin Taylor, Max Blue, and Nathan Hall. As the 2-1 from Volchko looked at for a called strike 2, so that evens the count up at 2-2. From third to first is Luke Hansen, Timo Becerra, Jaron Advincula, and Tanner Thatch. And Grant J is doing the catching as Volchko quickly deals the 2-2 pitch. Rocket hit right to the shortstop Becerra. Fields cleanly the long throw. Not in time as it goes on a bounce. Cooped up by Tanner Thatch, but Merrick Houston reaches with a single to begin the inning.
Yeah, tough play for Timo Becerra. It was kind of a slow ground ball, and he had to throw it on the run off his back foot. And difficult play to make, and another great scoop by Tanner Thatch, who had to wait back on that bounce. And it's great to see him back at first. It was kind of a carousel at the first base position in those past few games. We saw Tyler Cerny get a start there. Luke Hansen played some first, and Matt Klein as well. But now they got their staple back at the right side of the infield.
Out to lefty Cam Kojal. Swings away. Lost a foul ball hard down the third base line that goes off the net above the Bourne dugout. So Houston's batting average goes up to .324 this summer, and here is Kojal, sitting .242 through 17 games. Volchko out of the stretch, pickoff move, spiked in the dirt, kept in front by Thatch, as Houston dives in safely with a headfirst dive. Kojal hit a home run against Cotuit the last time these two teams played. That game back in the first inning as Volchko spikes a pitch, goes off the net. Down the first base side, advancing to second is Merrick Houston. So it's a wild pitch for Volchko as Bourne has a runner in scoring position with no outs. So Houston stands on second. 1-1 is the count here to Kojal, who's 1 for 7 against the Kettleers. Volchko, a long look back at Houston as the 1-1 pitch. High chopper down the first base line goes off the Kettleer dugout. Kojal, currently riding a 7-game on-base streak, has extra base hits in 4 of the 7 games. As Houston takes his lead, the 1-2 pitch, a rocket that goes over the leaping glove of Becerra into left field. Getting the turn around third is Merrick Houston, as Cam Kojal evens the score at 1 with an RBI single into left.
Well, just exactly what Bourne needed in response to Cotuit bringing home a run on the balk in the top of the first inning. That one roped over the head of Timo Becerra, just barely out of his reach, and a seeing eye single for Kojal. And they even up this game at 1-1. It's very similarly to the offensive explosion that we saw at the beginning of the game the last time these two teams played, with Cotuit scoring all their runs after the third.
Cotuit picked up the 8-7 win, and that game was a wild game where Cotuit scored 3 or 4, and then Bourne answered with 6 in the top half of that fourth. But here is Ethan Conrad. The first pitch from Volchko was a strike one. The 0-1 pitch waved on and missed on a pitch that was low in the zone. So Conrad falls behind 0-2. Really having success so far this summer, hitting .444 in 14 games. 12 RBIs. As Volchko comes set and deals the 0-2 pitch to the lefty, a slow chopper right near the Kettleers on deck circle. Conrad this year just capitalizing on all of his opportunities as the 0-2 pitch taken low and outside for ball one. Currently riding a 5-game hitting streak. His hits in 13 of 14 games he's played here in Bourne. As Volchko, the tall righty, deals the 1-2 pitch. Foul ball straight back to us, just to our left. Conrad currently leads the Braves in average, hitting at that .444 clip. Volchko nods his head. Glove set at the belt. Long look in, deals the 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Ethan Conrad goes down on strikes as he's retired for the first out here in the bottom of the first.
Now batting.
Yeah, nice breaking ball there from Volchko. Takes it off after throwing the fastball in the upper 90s, going to the slider and curveball and changeup he has for off-speed pitches. So picks up the first strikeout there, and there's one gone.
That's the cleanup hitter and third baseman Braden Holcomb. 1 for 6 against Cotuit so far in the 2 games. Cotuit 2-0 against Bourne as a pickoff move. Diving back in safely is Kojal. Holcomb, this is his 23rd game this summer. 22nd start, hitting .333. Really has been a staple in the middle of this lineup. Takes a hefty cut out of a first pitch breaking ball from Volchko as he waves on and misses. But he's currently tied for third in hits on the Cape so far this summer as Kojal takes the lead off first, fakes going, now heads back to the bag, called strike 2 as Jay popped up looking like he was going to throw down to first. But it's 2 strikes in on the third baseman Holcomb. Volchko 17 pitches, 13 strikes so far, facing his 4th batter. As the 0-2 pitch, a high chopper that goes right back to Volchko on the mound, fielded by Grant Jay. His throw to first in time as Tanner Thatch going into the splits. As Holcomb is cut down for the second out, advancing to second is Kojal. But a really nice play by Tanner Thatch.
Oh yeah, massive stretch by Thatch, using all of his 6'4" frame to pull that down. It was a great throw by Grant Jay, though, who had to deliver a seed to first base to get Holcomb running up the first base line, and they do so barely. A bang play at first, but Cotuit, great infield play early on in this ball game. And if you remember the last time we were here at Doran Park, they ran into a lot of infield issues, and that led to 2 unearned runs.
Now it's Chris Stanfield. The first pitch from Volchko has to back him up, as it's a righty-righty matchup here. Stanfield's been on a tear. 6 multi-hit games, currently 3 in a row as he fouls a pitch straight back into the netting behind home plate. Hitting .291, making his 22nd start this summer. 23 hits and 79 at-bats. Swiped 11 bases. As Kojal takes his lead off second, Volchko, glove set at the belt, takes a long look back at Kojal, now comes home with a 1-1 pitch. Ground ball that goes right in front of home plate, but foul. Stanfield hit it off that front leg of his.
Stanfield was off to a tough start to the season the last time these two teams played. Actually didn't get the start when they played just after the 4th, but in late June he was batting around a 100 clip, but has continued to play well.
The 1-2 pitch breaking ball got him swinging. Pitch was low, so Grant Jay puts the tag on Chris Stanfield, but not before Bourne even to score here at 1 apiece after the RBI single from Camden Kozel. As we head to the top of the second, with Bourne and Cotuit tied up at 1 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Cotuit Library. Since its founding in 1874, the Cotuit Library has served its community with an expansive collection that continues to grow. Their staff is dedicated to serving all ages, offering youth events weekly. The library has dozens of events scheduled throughout the summer, so be sure to head to the website at cotuitlibrary.org to see what's coming up next. The library is located right off Main Street. The Cotuit Library, a proud sponsor of the Kettleers.
The equipment must not interfere with other fans' enjoyment of the game.
1-1 after 1 here at Doran Park as Cotuit getting set to face their second looks on the second inning here against the starter J.D. Thompson, as it's Grant J, Timo Becerra, and Jaron Advincula due up here against Thompson, as Thompson allowed the first two guys in the Kettler order, Devin Taylor and Tanner Thatch, to reach
The catcher from
via
Dallas
hits,
Baptist University, number 33.
as Taylor came in to
Grant
score on a
J.
block. But he got a strikeout of Max Blue, a pop-up to Nathan Hall, and a strikeout of Nolan Naraki. There's Strand Tanner Thatch on third, but here is Grant J facing the lefty Thompson. With his first pitch in there for a called strike number 1. Jay this summer playing in his 18th game. 9 for 49, hitting at a 184 clip. As the 0-1 pitch gloved high above the letter, so the count even at 1-1. Jay was going through a really tough stretch at the plate, but blasted his third home run of the season late in the win against Harwich. It's a big cut on and missed, waved at the 1-1 pitch. So Jay falls behind 1-2. Has struck out 27 times through 17 games so far this summer. Thompson kicks and deals the 1-2 pitch. Foul tipped off the glove of Hartle, goes right back to the backstop.
Yeah, Jay putting to rest a streak where he was really struggling with that home run late in the game at Harwich on Friday night.
The 1-2 pitch. Jay pops this one high up. Getting underneath it is the catcher. Hartle loses that in the sun. So it's a towering pop-up that just falls foul, as Hartle was a couple of steps right off of home plate. But he couldn't glove it, battling a tough sun here at Doran Park. So Jay stays alive.
Yeah, Jay now 1 for his last 13 at the plate with a couple runs scored, couple RBIs, of course, coming on that long home run he hit late in the game at Harwich on Friday night.
Thompson peers over his black glove. Now deals the 1-2 pitch, runs inside against the righty Jay. So the count evens up here at 2-2. Seen the power been on display for Grant J. 9 RBIs, 3 home runs. As he hits this one into straightaway left field, camping underneath it is Mason Noville. Makes the grab on a long fly ball from Grant J as he's retired for the first out.
Another good at-bat, though, from Grant J as he gives that one a ride into the deep left center field alleyway. And it's good to see him putting the ball in play a lot more in recent games. You mentioned a couple of games ago his strikeout percentage was nearly at 50% or up above 50%. So for him to continue to put the ball in play and do the right things at the plate, the hits will come after that.
Now it's the shortstop Timo Becerra digging in. Guy who's had a lot of success against Bourne this summer. As Thompson, the lefty, starts the righty shortstop out with a first pitch off-speed pitch. That's in there for a called strike 1. Becerra so far against the Braves, 3 for 8 with a double and an RBI. As Thompson deals his 0-1 pitch, goes beneath the ankles of Becerra. So the count evened up at 1-1. Becerra, half of his hits coming against this Bourne pitching staff. As the 1-1 line drive, hard foul off the brick backstop here. So Thompson getting ahead of Jay, now gets ahead of Becerra here with 1 out in the top of the second. Cotuit and Bourne evened up at 1 apiece on a beautiful day here at Doran Park. The 1-2 pitch backs up the shortstop Becerra to even the count up at 2-2. Becerra 6 for 28 this summer, hitting at a .214 clip. As he stays alive here, another ground ball that goes right back to the backstop.
Yeah, you mentioned it, 3 for 8 against this Bourne team with an RBI, a double. And that was his first start when we played here back on June 28th. He went 2 for 4 in that ball game, or 2 for 5, in that ball game.
The 2-2 pitch down around the knees, called the ball 3. So Becerra works the count full here. He's seen 6 pitches from the lefty Thompson, who played this past season at Vanderbilt. The payoff pitch on the outside corner, taken for ball 4. So Becerra works a 1-out walk here in the second. The first walk of the day issued by J.D. Thompson.
Now batting.
Yeah, Thompson
California
coming off of a campaign at Vanderbilt where he had a 4.15 ERA and 12 starts and really improved upon things as his season progressed. Went through a lot of different experiences that a pitcher can go through in one season at Vanderbilt this year, but it ended off great, pitching well in the SEC tournament and bringing them into that tournament himself.
First pitch breaking ball to the lefty, Doran Park. Wave through and miss. 0-1 is the count here. Lefty-lefty matchup with 1 out. Advincula, another guy who has had a lot of success against Bourne so far this summer. As Becerra takes off for second, a called strike. Hartle's throw down is not in time as Becerra swipes second. So Advincula falls behind in the count, 0-2. But Timo Becerra advances in a scoring position.
Second stolen base of the summer for Timo Becerra and gets into scoring position, as you mentioned. Second straight inning where the Kets will put at least one man in scoring position. We're able to bring one home an inning ago.
Now Thompson, glove set above the belt, deals the 0-2 pitch, a slapper on the left side of the infield. Glove by Houston, goes to second. His throw not in time as Becerra just diving back in safely. So Doran Advincula reaches as the Kettleers have runners on first and second, still just 1 out.
Well, it was kind of similar to the first ground ball of the game that Timo Becerra got, pulled him into the hole backhanded, and Advincula gets to first because he thinks that the play at second may be the easier throw, especially with Advincula's speed running up the first base line. But nonetheless, the Kettleers will put 2 men on with 1 gone here in the second.
So it's the third hit of the day for Cotuit, as now that brings up the 9-man Luke Hansen. Becerra with a big lead at second. Thompson looks back but comes home as Hansen waves on and miss from the first pitch from Thompson, who's played the past 2 seasons at Vanderbilt. Made 12 starts this past year. 4.15 ERA as Becerra continuing to dance off second. The 0-1 pitch to Hansen, foul tip straight into the glove of Hartle. So 2 quick strikes here from Thompson against Luke Hansen. Hansen, playing in his 5th game this summer, is 2 for 7. He's yet to have an RBI as Becerra still dancing off second. Thompson, the 0-2 pitch, climbs the ladder, and Hansen goes down on strikes. So 3 strikeouts so far for J.D. Thompson as we head back to the Kettleer lineup, or Kettleer order, with 3 strikeouts for J.D. Thompson.
Yeah, really settled things down after that first inning, 3 up, 3 down with a pair of strikeouts and responding right after allowing 2 straight base runners, and now there are 2 gone for Taylor.
Now it's Devin Taylor. He's 1 for 1, led off the ballgame with a single. Big swing and a miss, foul tipped into the glove of Hartle to begin Taylor's second at bat. He's been on a tear as of late since returning from Team USA. 7 for 20, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. As it's a lefty-lefty matchup, Thompson looks back at Becerra, comes home as the 0-1 pitch. Hard chopper right to Camden Kozel at second, who makes the easy play, going on a 1st for 1. So Devin Taylor set down for the 3rd out of the inning as J.D. Thompson worked in and out of trouble, stranding runners on first and second after the strikeout of Luke Hansen and the ground ball by Devin Taylor as we head to the bottom half of the inning with Cotuit and Bourne even at 1 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com. When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today. For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
6, 7, and 8 due up here in the bottom of the second. Cotuit and Bourne still tied up here at 1. As Tristan Bissetta, the DH, digs in for his first at-bat against Joey Volchko. Volchko, similar to the starter J.D. Thompson, allowed the first 2 guys to record base knocks in the order, but worked a 1-2-3 inning after allowing those first 2 base runners. Starts out Bissetta with a high fastball that's taken outside, 96 on the gun. From Volchko, works out of the windup glove, set at the belt. Now deals to the lefty Bissetta. Called strike 1, that evens the count up at 1-1. Bissetta playing in just his 4th game this summer with the Braves, hitting .375 so far. It's the 1-1 pitch. Goes off the glove of Shea, back to the backstop. So 2-1 is the count against the lefty DH. Bissetta blasting a home run. And Joe, that was the first home run here at Doran Park for the Braves. Coming just a few days ago, and this is a Bourne team that really struggles at the dish and struggles to hit the long ball. As the 2-1 pitch, cut on and missed, as Bissetta takes a big cut out of the 90-mile-an-hour changeup from Volchko.
And allowing home runs is something that Cotuit did a pretty solid job of up until these past couple games, Alex.
The 2-2. Bissetta takes that around the ankle, so he works the count full here to begin this bottom of the second.
2 or 3 bombs against Hyannis, and Harwich was able to blast a few out at White House Field the other night, so Cotuit was one of the best teams in limiting home runs on the road until a couple nights ago.
The 3-2 pitch, a hard chopper right down the first baseline.
Now they're in the middle of the pack in terms of home runs allowed on the road, but their road numbers other than that are pretty incredible. Top 3 in the league in ERA. They don't allow too many hits and have among the top 3 strikeouts on the road of any pitching staff. And to go along with that, great offense away from Lowell Park as well.
The Kettleers 8-4 on the road so far this summer compared to a 6-5 record at Lowell Park. As the 3-2 pitch to Bissetta taken outside for ball 4. So it's the first walk of the day for Joey Volchko as Tristan Bissetta reaches to begin the bottom of the second.
Well, Ben Hartle will dig in. He has a chance to right his wrong after missing a pop-up in foul territory last inning. Fortunately for the Braves, no other runs were allowed to come in and score, and obviously on the scorebook it won't go down as an error, but as a catcher you're likely thinking about a play like that all game long.
So Hartle digged in for his first at-bat. Volchko, the first pitch, catches the top of the strike zone. Against the right-handed swinging catcher, Hartle attends Kansas. Hit .309 this past year, 11 home runs, 35 RBIs. Also racked up 11 doubles as Volchko, the 0-1 pitch, taken low and outside. That evens the count up at 1-1. It was an all Big 12 honorable mention this past season. has carried that hot hitting so far into the summer, with Bourne currently on a 7-game on base streak. As the 1-1 pitch once again low in the dirt from Volchko, 97 miles an hour on the fastball, but Hartle lays off. Becerra takes his lead off first. Thatch holding him on the 2-1. Once again, taken well outside. Jay had to glove that down in the opposite batter's box. So Volchko falls behind Hartle here. Walked Becerra to begin the inning and in danger of surrendering walks to the first 2 hitters he faces here in the bottom of the second. Volchko comes set, pickoff move. Becerra dives in safely. That's the all-white pants. Dirty for Bourne. Volchko, a long look in, glove set at the belt. Kicks and deals the 3-1 pitch. Hartle with a massive cut after 3-1, but misses. So the count is full here against Volchko. 34 pitches, 22 strikes so far, facing the 7th batter in this Bourne lineup. Volchko, the 6'4 lefty, deals. Running on the pitch is Becerra. High pop-up down the first base line, but Thatch gave it a look, runs out of room. So it's another payoff pitch on the way to Ben Hartle.
Yeah, Volchko having a battle here. If he's able to get this out, it'd be great to build some momentum and keep that runner on first base. But of course, you're looking for something on the infield grass, looking for something pounded into the ground, and let your infield try to turn 2 here.
6 pitches so far in this at-bat as Volchko shakes off Jade, now nods his head, glove set at the belt, deals the 3-2 pitch. Got him looking. Ben Hartle going down on strikes as he's retired for the first out in the inning. Joey Volchko now up to 3 strikeouts
Now batting.
through his first 4 outs.
Just a great pitch there. Nothing Hartle can do with that. Looking for a fastball. He got it on the outer half. And now Davis Gillespie will have to try to bat that runner from first over.
So the first pitch to Gillespie, a high twisting foul ball that goes over our right shoulders. A lot of fans sitting behind us on the hill. But Davis Gillespie, so far this summer, hitting .286. Today marking his 14th game played. He's 0 for 4 against the Kettleers. This is his 2nd game as he shoots this one into the right center field. Gap making the turn around second is Becerra. The throw in from center field is in time. Max Ballou cuts down Tristan Becerra, trying to advance to third base. So an excellent throw from Max Ballou, who continues to shine for Cotuit, and there's 2 gone as Davis Gillespie stands on first base.
Incredible arm for Max Ballou. No secret at that, watching him throw around in practice, and the first time that we've really seen him be able to let one loose in a game. And boy, you don't want to run on Max Ballou playing in center field today. Becerra cut down, and that is a crucial second out for the Kettleers. They could have put a runner just 90 feet away with just 1 out.
Now it's the left fielder Mason Noble, the 9-batter in this Bourne lineup. But Max Ballou continuing to do it all. Saw his bat come alive, made an impact out on the mound as the 0-1 pitch to the left fielder, taken low and outside for ball 1. So the count is 1-1 against the left-handed hitting Noble. He's playing in his first game this summer with Bourne, coming off of a year at Oregon where he hit .268 with 16 home runs as Volchko falls behind again. His 97-mile-an-hour fastball taken at the ankles for ball 2. Maville was taken in the 18th round of the 2022 MLB draft by the Cincinnati Reds. As the 2-1 pitch to the lefty caught on and missed, so the count even up at 2-2, 96 on a low fastball from Volchko. Nearly an unhittable pitch, Joe.
Yeah, low and inside as a lefty.
Volchko looks in, deals the 2-2 pitch, a high chopper right to Becerra at shortstop. He gloves it, takes it to the bag in time for the 3rd out of the inning, beating Davis Gillespie to the second base bag. So we head to the bottom or the top of the 3rd with Cotuit and Bourne tied up at 1. But before we do, we'll bring on the 3rd member of our team, Adele Huffman, who has
national
more.
program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops. In partnership with the Mass State Lottery, Out Team Sports Uniforms, and Zephyr Hats, The Cape League wears red on Fridays. Show your support by wearing red to every Friday home game.
Thanks, Alex. Yes, yesterday we had our 1995 Kettleers reunion. 30 years after they secured that championship together, we were all there, and you could definitely feel how special the moment was for everyone. Our amazing rider, Abigail Lott, got to speak with a few returning players, and a specific player, Porter, said, quote, "A lot of these memories 2 to 3 months ago I wouldn't have been able to think of, but seeing these guys, their faces, and their stories get told, I was there, and I remember that, and that part's awesome." And then Abigail also spoke with pitcher Ryan Lynch as he said, quote, "Coming back for me was a no-brainer. This was a really special time in my life, and the fact that we could bring our families back to enjoy this with us is really special." I wonder what stories are going to be told about the summer of 2024, Joe and Alex.
I don't think those stories have been written yet.
Yeah.
Still a lot of baseball left to be played, but yesterday, just definitely such an excellent day to commemorate such a special team for the Cotuit Kettleers.
Yeah, and unfortunate that the rain canceled the game against Chatham. There was going to be so many pregame ceremonies, hopefully an interview with Coach Mike Coots in the booth, but still we're able to celebrate that team in some way at the Cotuit Federated Church and be able to honor those guys' legacy, and it was really cool to see them return to the village, and great to see the excitement on all their faces.
It's great to be a part of such an amazing day.
That it was, as Tanner Thatch digs in for his second at bat. He's 1 for 1 today with a double, as he quickly falls behind as the 0-1 pitch from the lefty J.D. Thompson taken for ball one that evens the count up at 1-1. Thatch with a 3-game absence, but in his last 4 games played 8 for 14 with 4 extra base hits, but Thompson pulls ahead here as Thatch looked at the 1-1 pitch taken low and outside for a called strike 2. Thatch 5 RBIs in the last 4 games, also scored 7 times, has his average up to 250 as the 1-2 pitch over the glove of Thompson right to the shortstop Merrick Houston. His throw in time as Tanner Thatch set down for the first out here to begin this top of the third.
Yeah, Tanner Thatch, we mentioned his incredible productivity before heading away for his friend's wedding, but since returning, looked like he didn't skip a beat after doubling his last time up, but then falling back to 1 for 2 and a guy who really favors the pull side of the ball field.
Now it's Max Ballou. He's 0 for 1 today, falls behind here against Thompson, 0-1. Strikeout, swinging in his first at bat, 1 of 3 strikeouts so far for the lefty J.D. Thompson. This is 0-1 pitch. A high pop-up on the infield to the left side. Camping underneath it is Houston for the second out of the inning. So quickly, J.D. Thompson making quick work of Tanner Thatch and Max Ballou.
Now batting, the right fielder from Clemson University, number 21.
Well, Thompson going into this game was ultra productive in his first couple outings of the season, pitching last time against Falmouth on the road, where he pitched 3 scoreless innings and has allowed just a couple of runs on this season, and a guy who has been likely the best arm for Bourne so far this season.
Now it's Nathan Hall, swing away at the first pitch, hits this one on the ground to the third baseman Holcomb. The long throw in time to nab Nathan Hall. So it's a 1-2-3 top of the third for J.D. Thompson as he makes quick work of the 2-3-4 hitters in the Cotuit lineup. We head to the bottom half of the inning with Bourne and the Kettleers even at 1 apiece here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
The Cape Cod League All-Star Game is just a few weeks away. Cheer on your favorite Kettleers as they square off with some of the best players on the Cape. This year's game will be played in Falmouth on July 27th. The gates open up at 1:30 p.m. ahead of the 6 o'clock first pitch. All-Star Game tickets can be found at www.capecodleague.com/all-star-game. Or you can find out more information about the tickets at the Kettleers store.
The Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there. Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers website.
1-1 still your score here at Doran Park. As Bourne getting set to hit their 1-2-3 hitters here to begin this bottom of the third. Joey Volchko back to the mound here as he's gone 2 innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 run that was earned, walked 1 and struck out 3, tossing 43 pitches so far. Both teams with a run. Bourne with 3 hits. Cotuit with 2. So now it's Merrick Houston. He's 1 for 1. Began the game with a single, came around to score. As the first pitch from Volchko runs inside, Houston's going to say that hits him, is tugging on the white jersey, right around the Braves logo. The Bourne dugout certainly thought it hit Merrick Houston.
Certainly sounded like it probably caught his jersey a little bit, but now the home plate umpire is going to take a second. Looked like he got the worst of it. He's having to shake off his left arm, and he'll be joined by the other umpires on his staff. Likely talk things over about if that did hit Houston and if the home plate umpire is okay, but we'll see. It did catch the umpire on that left bicep, it looks like, which really kind of would be in the area to catch Merrick Houston right around the chest area where his jersey hangs over, but we'll see what the ruling will be, and hopefully the home plate umpire is okay. And now Scott Landers is going to have to ask for an explanation.
Warren Nicholson calling balls and strikes. He's behind home plate. Silvio Martinez at first, and at third base is Ruben Ramirez III. So Warren Nicholson was a bit shaken up. He's trying to shake off that left arm and bicep. Seems to be okay. Volchko has been yet to hit a batter so far this summer. Through 7 1/3 innings pitched. So Houston gets back into the batter's box. Count is 1-0. Volchko, a 1-0 pitch hit on the ground to the shortstop. Passera fields cleanly his throw high. Thatch trying to put the tag on him. Said he did.
Single for Cam Kojal, who improves to 2 for 2. So now 4 hits on the board for the Braves, 3 of them coming from the number 1 and 2 guys in the order. And another great play made by Tanner Thatch to not let that ball get towards the Kettleers dugout on the first base side.
Out to lefty Ethan Conrad. The first pitch from the righty Volchko looked at for a called strike 1. Conrad today 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Just his 5th strikeout in 55 at-bats so far this summer. As Volchko comes set, glove set at the belt, kicks and deals. And the 0-1 pitch looked at around the knees for a called strike 2. So quickly Volchko pours in 2 quick strikes for the right fielder for Bourne. Kojal, short lead off the bag. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Ethan Conrad goes down on strikes for the 2nd time today. It's the 4th K of the day for Joey Volchko.
Now batting,
and 2 are gone here in the bottom half of the third.
University for Braden.
Pitch sequencing there, and Nathan Conrad goes down on strikes for the 2nd time today, really struggling against these high heaters from Joey Volchko. And to go along with the slider and changeup, I mean, pretty incredible pitch mix for him to work off of that fastball, and we saw more of that right there against Conrad.
Before the first pitch to Braden Holcomb, a pickoff move, but Kojal dives back in safely. Kojal 3 stolen bases so far this summer. Through 17 games. Short lead off the bag. The first pitch to Holcomb. This one hit into right field. That'll get down. Nathan Hall fields it on the back end. Moving from first to third is Cam Kojal. So Braden Holcomb picks up a 2-out base hit. And Bourne has runners on the corner, still with 2 outs.
Yeah, broke his bat, fought it off into the right center field alleyway, and now Holcomb has a base hit. This is something that the Braves have done incredibly well. Get runners and get on base, just not too many extra base hits, as you were talking about earlier on in the broadcast. Not too many home runs. They're not a high doubles team, but this is a guy in Chris Stanfield who struggled at the beginning of the year, but really has found his footing in the middle of this Bourne Braves lineup.
Stanfield struck out swinging at his first at bat as the first offering from Volchko, 96 on the inside corner, taken for ball 1. But Stanfield came into today with his average up to 291, 11 for 23 in his last 7 games. Currently on a 5-game hitting streak as the 1-0 gets behind the catcher, Jay, staying put. At third is Cam Kojal. So it's still runners on the corners. Holcomb off first, Kojal on third. Bourne and Cotuit still tied up at 1 here in the bottom of the third. The 2-0 from Volchko, high looping breaking ball that's grounded straight into the netting just before the Bourne dugout on the third base line. The second appearance for Stanfield against the Kettleers was 1 for 3 in the contest back on June 28th as the 2-1 pitch looked at for strike 2. Eating on that last offering from Volchko as the count evens up at 2-2 to the center fielder Stanfield. Volchko looking to strand 2 runners on base. As the 2-2 pitch, this one hit into right field going back is Nathan Hull. Goes all the way back nearly to the wall, but camps underneath it for the third and final out. So Joey Volchko works in and out of trouble, gives up 2 base hits, one to Camden Kojal and the other to Braden Holcomb, but strands runners on first and third as we head to the top of the fourth with Cotuit and Bourne tied at 1 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Now batting, the designated
Sun
hitter,
continuing to set here at Doran Park.
Doran
As
Park.
Cotuit and Bourne still tied up at 1 to begin this top of the fourth. Alex Rocco joined alongside by Joe Pratt and Adele Huffman. Bringing you through round 3 between the Kettleers and Braves. Second meeting here at Doran Park. Now it's Nolan Naraki back up for his second at bat. Takes a first pitch strike on the inside corner. Naraki shaking his head after that first pitch. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout today against Thompson, who's back out for his 4th inning of work. The lefty peers over his back glove. Putting down the bunt is Naraki, but foul tips that straight back to Ben Hartle. So quickly 2 strikes in from J.D. Thompson. Thompson has allowed just 3 hits so far for Cotuit. Worked a 1-2-3 top of the third. It's the 0-2 pitch. Just a slow chopper that Hartle gloves foul with the bare hand. Haraki's been hitting the ball well as of late, but has struggled so far against Bourne. Is 0 for 4 with a walk. It's a line drive straight back into the netting behind home plate, and Naraki doing a good job staying alive.
Yeah, showed bunt the first time, wasn't able to lay it down, but still a called strike and having a battle here down in the count 0-2.
Thompson's 0-2 pitch. Naraki staying alive. Another foul ball. 5 pitches so far here from J.D. Thompson. As the 50th pitch upcoming for the lefty out of Vanderbilt. Hickson deals the 0-2 pitch once again. Naraki flares this one on the ground to the shortstop, Houston, who bobbles that baseball, will not throw over. So Nolan Naraki reaches to begin the top of the fourth. The second time today, Cotuit has gotten its leadoff man on.
And that will go down as an error on the Braves shortstop. Unable to pick that ball up, likely would have had a play at first. Houston would have to get Naraki there, so he reaches for the second time against this Bourne Braves team. Still looking for his first hit against the Bravos, but finding a way to reach base in any way that he can. And now another balk is called on Merrick Houston. So it looked like there was an issue there, Alex, when he came set, brought his left foot back off of the rubber. And are they saying he wasn't allowed to do that because he was not set yet? Or was set, and that was the issue?
He was set,
okay,
and that was why. So it's the second balk for J.D. Thompson. So moving up in the scoring position is Nolan Naraki.
That's interesting. 4 walks in the last 2 games. I mean, these pitchers just getting into, or maybe thinking too much when runners are on base, but moral of the story could be you could put runners on base and pitchers will work themselves into mistakes, and that's happening again here. Cotuit still having some chances to capitalize on it, though, with no outs in this inning. Now a runner in scoring position, and Grant Jay, who has hopefully started to figure things out at the plate, is up again with a chance to bat in another run in back-to-back ball games.
So after a quick conference, it is confirmed to balk. So the second on J.D. Thompson, as Naraki takes a big lead off second. Thompson's first pitch to the righty Jay, taken beneath the knees for called ball 1. Jay 0 for 1 today, flew out to left field to begin this second. As Naraki continuing to dance off second. The 1-0 pitch taken outside. So Grant Jay finds himself up in the count, 2-0. Jay didn't play in the first game against Bourne, but went 2 for 4 with a double in the contest back on July 6th as Jay weighs through the 2-0 fastball, 91 on the gun from J.D. Thompson, as Jay still up in the count 2-1 here. As Naraki, big lead off second. Thompson's 2-1 pitch taken at the letters and outside. So Jay up 3-1 after a tough take on the 2-1 offer. Cotuit hitting just 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. They've left 3 guys on base. Grant Jay thought the 3-1 pitch was too far low and inside. He thought it was ball 4, nearly ditched the bat down the first base side, but it's a called strike 2. So the count runs full here. With no outs in the inning, Naraki reached on an error, advanced to second on the second balk of the day from J.D. Thompson as he steps off the mound and throws over. Naraki back in standing. Not really being held on by the middle infield duo of Merrick Houston and Camden Kojal. So the 6th pitch of the bat on the way as the 3-2 pitch hit one deep into left field. Looking up is Mason Neville, but Grant Jay hooks that ball foul. Gave it a ride, but just was well out in front. 330 down the line at left field, and Grant Jay just tattooed it.
And that one was fair for a long time. Hooking foul above the left field foul pole that is just above the Bourne Braves bullpen. All the guys in the bullpen pointed to the right, saying that that one was well foul and clearly had the distance to be well out of here for Grant Jay and a second home run in as many games, but he'll have to go back, try to straighten it out at 3-2.
There is someone warming up for Bourne, righty out in the bullpen in left field. So it's another 3-2 pitch from Thompson. Naraki, a big lead off second. Thompson looks back at him. Now comes home with the 3-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Grant J down on strikes as he's the first out here in the top of the fourth on the fourth strikeout from J.D. Thompson, and now that brings up Timo Becerra.
Yeah, it's a tough way to end your at-bat after likely being just a couple feet away from your fourth home run of the summer. And for Grant J, things are really looking up. Another great at-bat for him where he works the count full, and J.D. Thompson and Ben Hartle will have a discussion before Timo Becerra's at-bat. But that's a great job for Thompson to get back after allowing the leadoff man into scoring position. To pick up that big strikeout in the way that he did is really huge. But now Scott Landers will pull the entire infield into the mound, and we will see if he decides to go to his bullpen here in the middle of this third.
There still is a righty warming up. But Naraki began this inning reaching on an error by Merrick Houston, the shortstop. That was his fourth error of the summer. But Becerra down on the count 0-2. Cotuit hitting just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position, as they have left 3 guys on, and that's been a major concern for Mike Roberts.
Yeah, and 2 of those being left in scoring position. Bourne threatening to strand 1 more there in this inning.
Thompson, his 0-2 pitch, got him swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for J.D. Thompson, as Timo Becerra falls to 0 for 1 on the day, as Thompson records strikeout number 5.
Great pitch there, as it's a breaking ball that he just gets Becerra caught fishing on. He was clearly looking for a fastball, was way out ahead of that breaking ball and just couldn't stay back. And back-to-back strikeouts for J.D. Thompson, exactly how you want to respond after Naraki gets to second base.
Now it's the lefty, Jaron Advincula, swinging away at the first pitch. Goes right to the first baseman, Davis Gillespie. That goes off of his glove in a short right field. Nolan Naraki comes in to score off the throw from Cam Kojal. So heads up base running from Naraki as Jaron Advincula brings home Naraki for Cotuit's second run as they now lead 2-1 here in the top of the fourth.
29.
Another great piece of hitting there from Jaron Advincula. You know, you don't want to put it to the left side of this infield towards second or third base, especially with the runner on second. So to the pull side, more there from Advincula. And you put the ball in play, good things are going to happen. It ends up being the 4th hit of the day for the Kettleers and the 8th RBI on Jaron Advincula's summer.
How it's Luke Hansen, the 9-man in Cotuit's order, takes a big cut on the first pitch from Thompson for strike number 1. So Advincula, another multi-hit game, had been struggling as of late, but busts out of his mini slump with another 2-hit day. Batting average now up to .392 this summer. As he's dancing off first, the 0-1 pitch to Hansen. Shoots this one the other way. That'll dunk down into right field. In front of Ethan Conrad, staying put at second is Jaron Advincula. So back-to-back hits for the Kettleers here in the top of the fourth as they have runners on first and second.
Yeah, that's a great piece of opposite field hitting by Luke Hansen, as you mentioned. And we go back to Thursday, his last start against Hyannis, where he also put a ball into right field on an opposite field base hit. So for Luke Hansen to showcase that contact and being able to spray balls to any part of the field and do that 4 base hits is really promising to see for the bottom half of this Cotuit order.
The Kettleers now up to 5 hits, matching the same total of Bourne. As the first pitch from Taylor, a high twisting foul ball that goes just to the left of the press box. Over the fans here at Doran Park. As sun just continuing to set, really turning into an excellent night for baseball, Joe. Advincula, a big lead off second. Hansen off first. As the 0-1 to Taylor, chopped right at the first baseman, Gillespie. That goes underneath his glove in a short right field. Fielding is Kojal. His throw back to second, trying to get Hansen. They do. Coming in to score is Jaron Advincula. He points at the plate, and that run will count. But excellent defense by Camden Kojal, noticing that Luke Hansen was off the back. So he is retired for the 3rd out of the inning.
That's just great hustle from Jaron Advincula to come in and score that run before Hansen gets nabbed at second. And that's a crucial run that we could be talking about towards the end of that ball game. A 2-run top of the 4th inning. Cotuit leads it 3-1. We're going to the home half.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Cotuit scores
Now
2
batting,
in the top of the
Olivia
4th
Hitter
as
from
they
Clemson
now lead
University, number
3-1
32,
here at
Tristan
Doran Park.
Becerra.
As coming up is the 6th man in the Braves lineup, Tristan Becerra. Bourne winners of their last 3 come into today with a 10, 11, and 2 record. Cotuit 14-9 as the Kettleers sit 2nd in the West Division, the Braves in 4th. As the first pitch from Volchko, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball taken outside for ball 1. Becerra walked in his first at-bat, was cut down trying to advance to third after a beautiful throw from Max Ballou. 93-mile-an-hour fastball in the same location, taken for ball 2. So 2 quick balls from Volchko, who's gone 3 innings today. As the 2-0 pitch, just in around the knees, taken again for ball 3. So 3 consecutive balls from the righty Volchko to begin this inning. As the 3-0 taken high and outside, so it's a 4-pitch walk of Tristan Becerra. His second walk of the day and another leadoff man on for the Bourne Braves.
Number 25.
Third time today that they've been able to put the leadoff man on, but nice job by Joey Volchko to quickly stop those potential rallies from getting started in these last 3 frames at least. Of course, allowing the first runner he faced to come around and score in that first inning, but since then has held runners incredibly well.
Now it's Ben Hartle back in for his second at-bat, but before the first pitch. Pickoff move, Becerra back in safely with a head-first dive. Hartle struck out looking. 1 of 4 strikeouts for Volchko so far tonight. As the first offering to the righty, Hartle taken low and outside on the breaking ball for ball 1. So 5 consecutive balls here to begin this bottom of the 4th. Cotuit now 3 runs on 6 hits. Bourne 1 run on 5 hits, 1 error.
Looks like a piece of the equipment for Ben Hartle potentially came loose. He's got that similar to what a quarterback wears around his wrist, but it's just in front of his belt there. The signs and pitches, different fielding alignments as a catcher.
The 1-0, nice stop by Grant J on a pitch that was low and outside, keeping it in front of him. As he will walk out to the mound, Volchko digging into the mound here at Doran Park, trying to get his feet set after tossing 6 consecutive balls to open this inning.
Yeah, Grant J will give him a second. They'll both take a look at the rubber, and there's potential that they're trying to buy some time for that arm warming up in the Kettleers bullpen right now. It is James Ellwanger, the righty. We knew before going into this game that Ellwanger could be a potential guy to be first out of the bullpen, of course, with the game being canceled yesterday. Volchko would have been the starter against Chatham at Lowell Park, but they push him to today. Ellwanger would have been the starter for today's game, but instead they're going to kind of go to Ellwanger as a platoon guy in the bullpen today. But for Volchko to pitch through these first 3 innings relatively nicely, has given up 5 hits, has walked a couple of guys, but as mentioned, holding base runners really well, and now the home plate umpire will conclude their meeting between Grant Jay and Joey Volchko. And that's pretty cool to see sometimes these guys developing their relationships, chemistry, knowing that you don't have to have the coach or the rest of the infield out there to have a conversation, just pitcher and catcher.
So the visit on the mound is over. Whatever Grant Jay must have said to Joey Volchko, it works there. It's a pitch that's called the strike, looked at on Ben Hartle. So after 6 consecutive balls, Volchko finds the strike zone as the 2-1 once again taken low and outside. So Hartle sits in the driver's seat up 3-1 with Becerra, who leads off first. Takes a short lead, being held on by Tanner Thatch. Volchko, the tall righty, comes set, kicks and deals. The 3-1 pitch, checking his swing is Hartle. But it's a called strike 2, so the count is full here with no outs in this fourth. Volchko comes set. Long look in, deals the 3-2 pitch. Rocket that goes foul before the Kettleers dug out on the first base line.
Yeah, hit off that all-brick backstop just in front of the screen that the Bat Boys sit behind and Mike Roberts. That was scorched. But luckily everybody is okay, and it hit a couple feet to the right of that screen.
Hardliner from Ben Hartle, who stays alive here. The 7th pitch of the at-bat upcoming. Volchko deals the payoff pitch. The 3-2 shattered bat goes to Advincula, who flips to Becerra for 1. The relay throw not in time, as Ben Hartle digs it out, but they go for second to get 1 as Tristan Becerra is cut down and Hartle reaches with 1 out.
Now batting.
Yeah, nice job just to get the lead runner. Those two in the middle infield continue to build chemistry. Of course, regular rivals at school, but having to put that aside and become middle infield mates here in Cotuit this summer. Of course, Becerra being at Stanford, Advincula out of Cal.
Now it's Davis Gillespie who comes up for a second time today. A slow chopper goes right back to the brick backstop. So 0-1 is the count here against the Bourne first baseman, who's 1 for 1. Singled back in the bottom of the second. He was stranded on base as a hard chopper down the third base line. So 2 foul balls off the bat of Gillespie has the count 0-2. Volchko approaching his 70th pitch so far through 3 1/3. Has struck out 4, only allowed 1. Hartle with a short lead off first. Volchko comes home, got him swinging. Davis Gillespie goes down on strikes as Volchko records his 5th strikeout so far today, and there are 2 are gone here
Now
in this bottom of the
fielder
4th.
from the University of Oregon, number
Great
41,
pitch there and great
Mason
response to get
Neville.
the second out of the inning, going low and outside, getting Davis Gillespie for the first time today, who singled his last time out. And now having to face the 9-man in this order, Mason Neville trying to complete his 4th inning of work.
5th strikeout for Volchko today. That ties a season high. Tallied that in his last outing against Hyannis. And gets ahead of the left fielder here. Neville reached on a fielder's choice that ended the inning, excuse me. So he's 0 for 1 in his Bourne debut. The 0-1 on the way to the left fielder. At pitch, swung on and missed, gets away from Jay. So advancing to second is Hartle. But the count is 0-2 against Neville.
Now that one bouncing away from Jay. We'll see if they rule that as a pass ball or a wild pitch, but Grant Jay has done a really nice job behind the plate in recent games. Most importantly, that game against Harwich, where he was a solid backstop for Aiden Hunter and all the other arms who came into that ball game.
The 0-2 pitch with 2 outs, taken low and outside, 98-mile-an-hour fastball. So 1-2 is the count here against the Bourne left fielder, who played his first campaign at Oregon after transferring from Arkansas. As Hartle, a big lead off second. The 1-2 pitch taken beneath the knees. So the count is evened up at 2-2. Volchko going to look to go through 4 innings today as the 2-2 pitch cut on and missed, pitch low in the dirt. The throw down to first base in time to nab Mason Neville. So Joey Volchko records a season high of strikeouts. He's now up to 6 after getting back-to-back strikeouts of Davis Gillespie and Mason Neville. And before we send it to a break, we'll bring on Adele Huffman, who has more.
Thanks, Alex. It's always interesting to know what sports shaped these players into the successful players we're seeing out here today. And it's not surprising that almost every one of them has grown up playing other sports. Max Ballou grew up playing football, basketball, and track, which he believes all influenced his baseball career, especially track, adding to his quickness on the field. Charles Davlin grew up playing hockey, but he ended up choosing baseball because of the grind that was associated. Brandon Compton grew up playing a lot of disc golf, surprisingly enough, you guys. Devin Taylor grew up playing basketball and handball. He believes that basketball helps with his quick speed and handball with his hand-eye coordination. Nolan Rocky with basketball, he said that it helps him with his footwork in the field. And my personal favorite, not biased or anything, Nate Hall grew up playing tennis, and he still plays all the time. So maybe I'll have to challenge him to a match at some point. But Joe, Alex, I know you both grew up playing sports, but I'll go ahead and ask, what sports did you two grow up playing, and what's your favorite part about broadcasting for a baseball team?
Well, I mean, broadcasting for a baseball team is great because we get to just be around the team and be here day in and day out. And that's just the greatest thing about baseball is that it's a game that's played every single day. It's a game that's played in great weather in the summertime. But growing up, I was a hockey player and played that throughout all of my years growing up. So I'm with Charles Davlin, of course. I had the opportunity to have a conversation with him earlier this summer, and he talked about his hockey background, and it was really cool to hear about him grow up and playing in, a place where hockey is everything in Canada.
And Joe, I'm jealous of you growing up playing hockey. That's always a sport I wish I could play, but I spend a lot of time here on the baseball fields, on the diamond, and growing up playing baseball, and now having the ability to broadcast it. It's just so special being around this game that I played from the age of 5.
That's really great, you guys. Joe, I wish I could stand up on ice, period. And Alex, it's great to see you coming back to the game you love and broadcasting it here for Cotuit this summer.
And of course, Adele playing tennis, so always good to see the tennis to baseball connection going with Nathan Hall, who's set to hit third in this inning.
Have you seen those guys on Instagram or TikTok or whatever who play tennis baseball?
I have.
It's incredible. The way that they pitch in that game, and they have full-on at-bats too. A ball's hit into center field, you got to grab it and hit it with your tennis racket. It's unreal.
Now it's Will McCausland coming in of relief of J.D. Thompson. That I love seeing those TikTok and Instagram reel videos. Maybe we'll have to try that out later this summer. As McCausland, the second pitch to Thatch. Slow chopper right at the mound. McCausland comes off the mound, the throw in time to nab Thatch at first. So he's retired for the second time today. He's now 1 for 3. As he's the first out here in the top of the 5th.
Now batting, center fielder.
Yeah, so that'll be the end of the line for J.D. Thompson, who pitches 4 innings in this ball game. Did allow 5 hits to the Kettleers and 3 runs, but a couple of those going unearned as he wasn't helped too much in that, especially in that last inning, by his infield.
McCausland, the righty, coming in relief of the lefty Thompson. Working against the lefty Max Ballou. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Waved on and missed. So Ballou quickly down 0-2 here. He is 0 for 2 today. Strikeout swinging in the first on a pop-up to Merrick Houston at short. Did make a really nice throw in center field, but he's down on strikes as Will McCausland blows 3 pitches right past Max Ballou. And he's come out of the bullpen, thrown 5 pitches, and picked up 2 outs.
Now batting, the right fielder from the University of South Carolina,
McCausland, a 4.50 ERA going into this appearance, has allowed 3 hits in 4 innings, 2 earned runs, and has allowed 2 homers also, 2 solo shots given up by McCausland. So the long ball has really been an issue for him, but to it, no home runs the last time these two teams played, the last time they played at this ballpark. But both teams going yard at Lowell Park. Last time these two guys played just after the 4th.
Tanner Thatch had a go-ahead home run. It was trailing 7-5. As the 1-0 pitch looked at for a called strike 1 to even the count up at 1-1 here against Nathan Hall. Thatch made that game 8-7. Cotuit ended up winning that contest with the same score. As Hall hits this one back up the middle. Sliding snag by Houston. His throw to first base, not in time. Nathan Hall beats it out, but a pretty play by Merrick Houston, who goes into the slide up the middle. But Hall beats it out to keep this inning alive here in the top of the fifth.
Great hustle up the first baseline by Nathan Hall. It really helps when you have a lineup of guys who all can run pretty well. I mean, looking around this lineup, there are only maybe two guys who stick out who don't have the best speed on this team, but speed kills, and we saw more of it right there as they extend this inning against the new pitcher McCausland.
From one South Carolina Gamecock to another, Nolan Naraki up for his third at-bat today. Count is 1-0. After the first pitch from the righty, McCausland goes outside. Pickoff move, Hall back in standing. Hall with a lot of speed, tied for the team lead in stolen bases with 3 this summer. Shares that lead with Tyler Cerny, who not in the lineup today. It's the 1-0 pitch. Looked at low and outside for a called strike. 1 to even the count up at 1-1 here against Naraki. McCausland, glove set at the belt. Naraki hits this one high up in the air on the right side of the infield. Camping underneath it is Kojal battling the sun. Will make the grab for the third and final out. So Will McCausland comes out of the bullpen, gets the first 2 outs against Tanner Thatch and Max Blue. That gives up a 2-out base knock to Nathan Hall, but strands him on the base pass after the pop-up to Camden Kojal. So McCausland gets 3 outs. We'll head to the bottom half of the inning. When we come back from this commercial break, my broadcast partner, Joe Pratt, will take over on play-by-play, so stay tuned for more here from Doran Park.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more.
So James Ellwanger will be the first man out of the pen for the Kettleers today in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cotuit leading 3-1 so far with 6 hits on the board compared to 5 for the Bourne Braves. 2 of Cotuit's runs so far going unearned in a game that they lead by just 2 runs. And unearned runs was really the story the last time these two teams met and the first time, in which the Bourne Braves have scored 10 total runs in this season series, 7 of which have been earned. Cotuit has taken advantage of 1 unearned run by the Bourne Braves. But now it's going to be James Ellwanger who gets into this ball game. That'll be the end of the line for Joey Volchko, who goes 4 frames, does allow one earned run, on 5 hits. And we move into this bottom of the 5th frame with the leadoff men getting looks against Ellwanger for the first time. It'll be Merrick Houston, Cam Kojal, and Ethan Conrad.
This is the 5th appearance so far this summer for James Ellwanger. He's made 2 starts, so this is the 3rd time for him coming out of the bullpen. His 0-2 is a 3.27 ERA. In 11 innings, struck out 17 while only walking 5 batters.
For Wake Forest University, number 2, Merrick.
So the freshman gets another appearance on the summer, was slotted to be today's starter if yesterday's game would have been played, but that one postponed to Thursday. So we'll be facing the right-handed swinging Merrick Houston, who with an upright batting stance awaits the first one from Ellwanger. It's a big looping breaking ball that falls in at knee height for a called strike one. Nice pitch there from Ellwanger to start off his next appearance. Houston a .360 hitter going into this ball game. 0-1 is another breaking ball that misses low and outside to even it up at 1-1. Houston so far today is 1 for 2. Scored a run, the first run of this ball game for the Braves in that first inning. Next pitch is a fastball upstairs, 2-1. And that's after a campaign at Wake Forest. They went to the Greenville Regional. He hit .326 with 8 homers. As the next pitch is a high fastball that fans and misses Merrick Houston, and he goes back to 2-2. Houston, an all-ACC third-teamer, driven in 39 runs this past spring. The 2-2 pitch is a fastball low and outside, dotted on the corner for a called strike three. So James Ellwanger enters the game and wastes no time to pick up that first strikeout. There's one gone in the bottom of the fifth.
Number 8, Captain Kojo.
That was a really nice job by James Ellwanger, mixing speeds and location. Went on the 2-1 pitch, a pitch at the top of the strike zone, then comes back just with heat on the low and outside corner, and nothing Merrick Houston could do at the dish.
He goes into his windup against Cam Kojal. The lefty takes a breaking ball low and inside. That one could have been called a strike, but Grant Jay was unable to haul it down. It popped out of the webbing of his mitt. And they're facing Cam Kojal for the third time today. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI, pair of singles. The 1-0 pitch is another breaking ball. This one on the outer part of the zone, called a strike one. So the middle infielders will be playing back, battling some shadows cast across this Doran Park infield. As the 1-1 pitch from Ellwanger is a fastball lifted towards Advincula over his head. That'll bloop into shallow right center field for a 1-out base hit. So Cam Kojal improves on his great day at the plate. He's 3 for 3.
Kojal really swinging a hot bat, picks up his third hit like you mentioned, Joe, and really has been a key cog at the top of this Bourne lineup. Batting average sitting over 270 now with that last base hit.
Yeah, Kojal been a staple in the middle of this Bourne lineup, batting second today. He has a short lead at first, being held on by Thatch. And the first pitch to Ethan Conrad is rolled on the ground to the Kets dugout. Out of play, and 0-1 the count to Conrad, who's 0 for 2. Pair of swinging strikeouts against Joey Volchko. Slight pause as Tyler Cerny will run out of the Kettleers dugout, go grab that baseball up the right field line. Kettleers bullpen above the short right field fence, just beyond the 360-foot marker. It's only 300 to the right field corner, but quickly juts out to 360 right in front of the bullpen. They check back at first, and Kojal dives back in safely. So still 0-1 the count to Ethan Conrad, who bats upright from the left side of the box, and Ellwanger now working from the stretch. His 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball just outside, 1-1. So Ellwanger getting another opportunity in relief, has started 2 games for the Kettleers, this being his 5th overall appearance. And now with the teal glove just beneath his belt, the 1-1 pitch. Fastball cut on and missed. Conrad goes back to 1-2, really climbing the ladder there, and not the first time we've seen that from Ellwanger.
Not at all, and that's a rare chase from Ethan Conrad, a guy who is so disciplined at the plate, and especially this year, a guy who has struck out just 6 times and 2 coming so far earlier today.
1-2, runner takes off, swing and a miss, strike 3, throw down to second is in time. A strike him out, throw him out double play to nab Cam Kojal at second and fan Ethan Conrad for out number 3. So the Kettleers keeping the Braves at bay. It's 3-1 as we go into the top of the 6th inning here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Each week, the Cape Cod Baseball League is honoring those who served with Red Shirt Fridays. Every home team on Fridays wear red Cape League uniforms and an Army camouflaged hat. For every Friday game at Lowell Park, the Kettleers are honoring a hero of the game presented by the Massachusetts State Lottery. For exclusive Red Shirt Friday gear like fitted player hats, head to the Kettleers store at the ballpark. We hope you can join us for a Red Shirt Friday at Lowell Park this season.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services From bathroom renovations to complete home remodels, when you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Looking to connect with the right business? ZoomInfo's got you covered. With a database of over 100 million company profiles, they provide top-notch data to boost sales and marketing growth. Since 2007, ZoomInfo's B2B data quality has ensured that businesses have the best intelligence right at your fingertips. Discover more at zoominfo.com and see how you can get connected today. So we welcome you back in for the top of the sixth inning. Grant J will lead things off for the Kettleers. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 for the Kets. Grant J getting his second or third looks of this ball game, but first looks against the new pitcher, McCausland. Right-handed thrower with the all-red glove will be throwing from the windup. The fastball that is low and outside. And Jay checked his swing. They will say he did go. Catcher Ben Hartle wanted to appeal to first, but got some help from the home plate umpire. Said Jay went around. So the 0-1 pitch, here it comes in from McCausland. It's another fastball at knee height. And this one actually called a ball. Like a pretty similar location there, Alex, but Jay sends it back to 1-1. McCausland brings the glove in front of his face. The 1-1 is in there for a called strike 2. That one dotted on the low part of the zone. So keeping it low against Grant Jay, who's behind in the count now 1-2.
McCausland's really attacked the low and outside part of the strike zone here through 3 pitches.
That one just outside with the fastball, 2-2. So do you think maybe that's an attempt to get him to pull away from one of these pitches as the 2-2 is upcoming? And it's a breaking ball, but Jay doesn't bite and the count's full.
I think that's just knowing the scouting report against a guy of Grant Jay. You don't want to leave a pitch right down the heart of the plate. You know the power of Grant Jay, so attack him low and outside.
Payoff pitch. Jay gets it off the end of the bat and swats it into straightaway center. Stanfield settles under it and into the shadows. Makes the catch for out number 1. So Jay goes back to 0 for 3. Put the ball in play a couple of times and struck out his last time up. That'll bring up Timo Becerra. So, of course, tonight, the night of the MLB draft, the first day of the 2024 MLB draft, and Alex Travis Bazzana going 101. You surprised by that?
That I am not. Joe, you saw him all last summer with Falmouth. 2023 Cape Cod MVP. Just a guy who had boatloads of success throughout the college levels and now goes 1-1.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of hype around Bazzana. Projected to be one of the men to be taken in the top 3. I think you really can't go wrong. As this one's shot through the right side of the infield, and that's a base hit for Timo Becerra. That splits between Davis Gillespie and Cam Kojal into right field, and Becerra has his 3rd base hit this season at Doran Park.
Becerra just continues to rake so far against Bourne. That's now his 4th hit.
Berkeley, number 7.
The 6th time, that he's reached against the Braves. So Becerra doing an excellent job against this Bourne pitching staff.
That'll be Jaron Advincula. Becerra, 4-step lead on first. Now he takes off, and Advincula swats at the first pitch and puts it out of play. Advincula, another multi-hit ball game, back-to-back singles in the 2nd and in the 4th. Kettleers with a couple of names who are projected to go in tonight's draft. We'll see where they fall as Advincula rolls this one on the ground towards first. Gillespie reaches up, makes the play, throws to second to get the lead out. And Becerra is tagged out there, is out there for a first out. And Advincula advances to first on the fielder's choice.
The 3rd baseman,
It was a nice play by the shortstop, Merrick Houston. The throw was low in the dirt from the first baseman, Davis Gillespie, but Houston making the low pick, keeping that ball in front of him and not having it go into left field.
Yeah, great job by Gillespie there to respond well after making an error last inning. As Luke Hansen gets that one in off of his hands and sends it foul over our right shoulders. One fan trying to make a play on it. Hey, someone got that baseball, and he's wearing a Cotuit hat, so that's all that matters.
Making plays in the stands.
0-1 pitch, fought off once more by Hansen. This one headed to the crowd. Someone also trying to make a play. It bangs off of his right arm. And some of the Cotuit interns will grab that baseball. Looks like he didn't want it anyway. Advincula a short lead at first. Now he extends it. The count's 0-2 to Hansen. They'll look back at first. Advincula dives in safely, and boy, that was an audible safe call from the first base ump.
Silvio Martinez, some extra emphasis on that call. Advincula dancing just a tad bit off the bag.
Check back there again and nearly had him, but Advincula back in safely. Had to plop down, and they kind of had him mid-step as he maybe got caught by his shoelaces. Safe nonetheless. He takes his lead. The 0-2 pitch. Hansen flares it straight back off the netting to stay alive at 0-2.
Advincula has a lot of speed, but just 2 stolen bases so far this summer. Has been caught once. Haven't really seen him try and go.
Now we see that speed running up the first base line where he's able to beat out so many infield hits. This time he's back in standing up on the pickoff. But yeah, earlier on in the season, Advincula was caught trying to steal second, and then we saw maybe about 15 games there where he wasn't sent. This time he fakes the steal. The pitch is high, 1-2 the count to Hansen. But it's been great to see him take off at times. You don't want to be a one-dimensional guy who takes off every single time he's on the base paths, but Mike Roberts clearly choosing his moments with Advincula at first. Takes a short lead, extends it. The 1-2 pitch is a called strike 3 low and outside to get Luke Hansen for the second time today by way of the K. And the Kettleers still leading 3-1. We'll send it to the home half of the 6th frame. James Ellwanger will return to the bump for the Kettleers when we return on the Kettleers Radio Network.
This Saturday, the Kettleers are reuniting the 1995 champions by welcoming the championship-winning team back to Lowell Park. A blast from the past. Several of the players will take batting practice before a pregame ceremony honoring the team, followed by a group first pitch. The Kettleers will take on Chatham, the team Cotuit beat in 1995 for his 13th CCBL title. Join us in welcoming Kettleers history Saturday, July 13th at Lowell Park.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
James Ellwanger will be back on the bump for this bottom of the 6th inning. Thank you for tuning in to the Kettleers Radio Network. Joe Pratt and Alex Rocco are with you. Jimmy Chantulis is on the controls today. Adele Huffman on the sidelines. So here's Braden Holcomb to start off this bottom of the 6th inning. He's 1 for 2. Grounded out just in front of home plate his first time up and then responded with a single in the 3rd. He'll be facing James Ellwanger, who worked that top or bottom of the 5th inning, 3 up, 3 down in an unconventional way. But his first pitch to Holcomb is a fastball down the heart of the plate. They'll say it's just outside 1-0. A strikeout of Merrick Houston and then gave up a single to Cam Kojal. Then finished off the frame by striking out Ethan Conrad. The runner was going, and Grant J nabbed him at second to end that frame. As he draws a big swing and miss here on a breaking ball, and Holcomb's back to 1-1. Holcomb, 305 hitter going into this ball game. 18 hits and a couple extra base hits as he puts a seed into right center field. That'll take a couple hops into the glove of Max Ballou. So it's a leadoff single for Braden Holcomb to start off this bottom of the 6th. And Alex, that's another leadoff man to reach for these Bourne Braves.
Now batting, the center fielder from
It's the 10th multi-hit game so far for Braden Holcomb this summer. Not trying to do too much. Just flares that into right center field, and he picks up his second single. But Bourne has gotten guys on base to begin the inning, but you have to give Joey Volchko and now James Ellwanger credit of stranding runners on base.
Yeah, Bourne with 5 left on base so far today. Runner on first is Holcomb. The first pitch to Stanfield is just outside. It brings Grant J out of the crouch, and it's 1-0 to Stanfield, who's 0 for 2. strikeout in the first inning, and he flew out to right field in the third. And we were talking about Stanfield really struggled through his month of June, but has continued to play well and put in good ABs as he shows the bunt here, but pulls it back, and that's still a called strike one. 1-1 the count here to Stanfield. So the middle infielders playing back. Thatch is holding the runner on at first, and now Luke Hansen will play closer up towards the cutlet of the grass. Coming set from the stretch is Ellwanger. Takes a look at first, and he will kick in, deal home. Stanfield takes up and in, ball two. So Chris Stanfield at the end of June was among the top in the CCBL in strikeouts at the plate and was batting at a clip just above 100. Now has brought that batting average up to 291 and is 23 for 79 at the plate, and now his 22nd game played this year. So it's cool to see a guy who's been able to get a lot of opportunities and finally make the most of it. 2-1 from Ellwanger. Breaking ball, foul tipped off the glove of Grant Jay, and it's 2-2.
Stanfield currently on an 11-game on-base streak, a 5-game hitting streak. You've really seen his bat come alive in the last 7 games, 11 for 23, and for a player of his caliber, now it's good to start to see the results.
Righty on righty matchup with Ellwanger coming set. The 2-2 home. Takes a long pause. Here it comes. It's a fastball that's sawed off at the top of the netting just in front of us. See, that's a high fastball that Stanfield maybe wasn't expecting, but just had to put an emergency swing on it to foul it off and stay alive at 2-2.
95-mile-an-hour fastball from James Ellwanger right at the top outside corner.
He comes set once more. 2-2 again is a breaking ball. Hit on the ground towards Luke Hansen. It's just out of his reach, but a couple feet in foul territory. And Stanfield will remain battling at 2-2. So still a 3-1 lead here at Doran Park. 7 hits on the board for both of these teams. Bourne, as he just brought up, Alex, has really struggled to bring guys around to score, though. Two playing solid defense as well. No errors. They got the infield shifted slightly to the pull side for the right-handed swinging Chris Stanfield, who awaits this 2-2 pitch once more. Stanfield takes it, gets away from Jay, back to the brick backstop. The runner will move up into scoring position. Holcomb will be on second with nobody out and a full count to Chris Stanfield.
It's the first wild pitch of the day for James Ellwanger, the third so far for Cotuit. Now that eliminates the threat of the double play with Holcomb in scoring position.
Large hole on the right side of that infield between Advincula and Thatch, first and second. As the 3-2 pitch, Stanfield gets it off the end of the bat and flares it foul over our right shoulders down that first base line and out of play.
8 pitches so far in this at-bat from Chris Stanfield against James Ellwanger, and really doing a good job working deep in this count in this at-bat.
Ellwanger done a nice job of pounding the zone, too. Stanfield goes after a fastball, comes up empty, strike 3, swings and misses for the second time today. And James Ellwanger picks up his third strikeout of this outing.
James Ellwanger has the strikeout pitch working early on so far. 3 quick punch-outs out of 5 outs in a long battle against Chris Stanfield. So he just goes down on strikes.
Second strikeout of the day for Stanfield. He's 0 for 3, so we mentioned his ability to get on base in the month of July and hitting really well. Not so much today, as that one hits off of the umpire, off the glove of Grant Jay first, though. It'll squeeze back to the backstop, and the runner moves up 90 feet to third. So Jay unable to haul that one down. Of course, James Ellwanger out of Dallas Baptist, as is Grant Jay behind the dish. So these two teammates at school, but struggling to be clicking on all cylinders so far in this 6th inning. The runner's on third, 1-0 count is fouled straight back and off one of the poles that holds up the netting here at Doran Park. To send this count to 1-1, Tristan Becerra is the batter. He's reached twice today on a pair of walks. So Becerra, an upright stance from the left side. The 1-1 pitch is upcoming from Ellwanger, a fastball at knee height, too low, and it's a called ball 2. So Becerra working the count really well. He's the DH today for Bourne. And an opportunity to bring this score within one. Cotuit leads 3-1, a runner on third. 2-1 pitch from Ellwanger. From the windup, he deals. It's low and inside. Jay misses it. It actually hit the batter, and the runner will come in and score. Actually, they're going to say he has to go back to third because it's a dead ball. It hit Tristan Becerra, so they'll have the runners on the corners with one gone.
Now batting, the catcher from the
That last
University of
pitch,
Kansas,
95
number
miles an
25,
hour,
Ben
but just
Hartle.
runs too far inside and ends up clipping Tristan Becerra. So nice break for the Kettleers as Braden Holcomb does not come in to score, but now you have runners on the corners here with just one out.
And now Ben Hartle and Scott Landers will have a timeout before this plate appearance. Runners will be on the corners with one out. Is there a chance maybe with Hartle at the plate has kind of struggled today? He's 0 for 2 with a looking strikeout. Do you maybe see him lay down a bunt here?
You could. Luke Hansen, the third baseman for Cotuit, playing on the grass, so definitely could see something, a bunt being put down as Bourne has struggled to score runs so far this season. Only one run today. They have 7 hits, but I want to use some small ball to try and chip in to this Kettleer lead.
Yeah, struggling with runners in scoring position so far today out of the Braves, but they're 1 for 5 with 5 left on base. Check back at first. Ellwanger's pickoff attempt nearly nabs Becerra there, but the first base ump says he got that hand in safely on the dive, but a good pickoff attempt there from James Ellwanger. So the runner will stay put at first. He has a short lead there, being held on by Thatch. Hansen at third is playing even with the bag. First pitch draws a big cut from Hartle, and he's down 0-1. So Hartle going after that first pitch was, as you talked about earlier, Alex, an all Big 12 honorable mention. And going into the season was going to be the everyday man for the Jayhawks, mainly as a defensive catcher, but really followed through at the plate too. Was able to bat at the middle of that lineup for the Jayhawks and performed really well. He took a strike there on the breaking ball and is now down 0-1. And 0 for 2 on the day is Hartle. As they'll check back out first, the runner dives back in safely. As that pitch we just saw a second ago was the second one of this at bat to send it to 1-1. Ellwanger comes set with the light blue glove just in front of his belt. From the stretch, he fires the 1-1 pitch. It is a fastball cut on and missed. Hartle back to 1-2. Climbing the ladder again with that fastball.
95 miles an hour at the top of the zone there. It's a really unhittable pitch for Hartle, and if he does hit it, most likely to get underneath it and sky it.
Ellwanger set the 1-2. Fastball cut on and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Ben Hartle on strikes for the second time today, and it's the 4th strikeout of the day for James Ellwanger, and he is now just 1 out away from escaping this bottom of the 6th.
Really nice job by James Ellwanger, continuing to climb the ladder. Last 2 pitches, fastballs at the top of the zone. 96 on the gun with that last pitch, so a lot of heat coming out of the right arm of James Ellwanger.
What a momentum boost this would be for the Kettleers if Ellwanger is able to escape this bottom of the 6th. He comes set. Davis Gillespie is the batter, and they'll throw back at first, and diving in safely there is Becerra. This definitely be huge for James Ellwanger, as Bourne was able to put that runner just 90 feet away with 1 out in this inning. Kettleers still leading 3-1, as the next pitch is a fastball upstairs, and the first pitch to Gillespie misses high. It's 1-0.
Ellwanger now with at least 4 strikeouts in all 5 appearances he's had this season with Cotuit.
Just continues to fan batters at an incredible rate, leading this ball team. As that next pitch is a breaking ball on the upper part of the zone and called a strike 1. So now 1-1 the count to Davis Gillespie. Strikeout his last time up in the 4th. Singled before that. Ellwanger ready. And his 1-1 offering to Gillespie is a fastball up high. Gillespie doesn't budge. They'll still check at first, and he didn't go, so it's 2-1 to Gillespie, the right-handed swinging first baseman. He digs in with a right arm guard, going all the way out to that right wrist with all white batting gloves. He fouls one straight back off the netting, and it's 2-2 now. Gillespie against the Kettleers this season, 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Did not get the start at Lowell Park the last time these two teams played on July 6th. Ellwanger comes set. The runners are on the corners, 2-2 with 2 gone. The pitch. Fastball upstairs, count full. Gillespie playing his college ball at Southern Mississippi, hit .318 there this past season. And off to a .282 start in 10 games with the Bourne Braves this season. The 3-2 from Ellwanger. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. The 5th strikeout of the outing for James Ellwanger, his 3rd in the bottom of the 6th inning. So the Braves will strand runners on 1st and 3rd. Cotuit protecting that 3-1 lead thanks to James Ellwanger's 2 shutout relief innings. So we send it to the top of the 7th inning. But before then, we'll check in again with our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman.
Thanks, Joe. James Ellwanger with a great inning, and thankfully his family is all sitting right behind us, so I was able to speak to them just a few innings ago. Christy and Dan, his parents, are both here, and they told me about his biggest influence in baseball, which is his older brother, who is also a pitcher, and his mother called them her bookends because that would make the oldest brother and the youngest brother both pitchers. And his parents knew that he had something special the summer after his freshman year when he played for a high-level select team in high school. And this is where he got his nickname, which is Big Game James. So we might have to get that started here at the park. They've been traveling all around the Cape together, seeing the vineyards, seeing different ballparks around. But what they really want everyone to know about James is that he is the most humble guy you'll ever meet. And he's just a chill dude. So it was great speaking with his family, and we're so glad that we can have parents join us out here for these games. It makes it feel like home.
Yeah, definitely super cool to be able to get these families all around the ballpark, and hopefully we'll have a chance to have them out at a game at Lowell Park as we go on throughout the rest of this week. Of course, that hasn't been too easy to come by playing at Lowell Park, but you're right, Adele. It's always super awesome to be able to see the families who come out here and visit, and they're obviously not the first families this year that you've been able to talk to, and so that just must be really refreshing to hear about, and them being able to watch their son play baseball just as they have this whole time, but on a stage like this, it must be pretty cool. So great information as always from Adele Huffman. Thank you so much, and we'll move it to the top of the 7th inning. James Ellwanger just completing his 2nd inning of work in relief. 5 strikeouts, retired 6 total batters. 5 of them were with the K-ball. So just more incredible stuff from James Ellwanger, who leads this pitching staff in strikeouts. So the batter to lead off this top of the 7th inning is the regular leadoff man now, Devin Taylor, who fouls that one off the base of the Kettleers dugout and is now down in the count 0-2. Taylor has reached twice today, but has walked and reached on an error. And now he goes after that pitch, low and inside, comes up empty. It tips into the glove of Hartle. Devin Taylor goes down on strikes, and McCausland has the first out of this top of the 7th.
Number 30, Tanner Thatch.
McCausland's done a nice job coming in relief of J.D. Thompson. Has gone 2 1/3, allowed just 2 base hits, and has struck out 3.
Tanner Thatch takes low and inside in the dirt. Ball 1. Thatch is 1 for 3. 1-0 pitch. He gets a hold of that one and ropes it down the right field line, but foul. Now and rocketed off the bat of Tanner Thatch, who has been a strong pole hitter for the Kettleers this season. And now Thatch tips that one off the glove of Ben Hartle, sends the count to 1-2, or stays alive at 1-2. Back-to-back foul balls off the bat of Tanner Thatch. Facing Will McCausland for the 2nd time in this ball game. He was the first man to face McCausland and grounded out straight back to him. Brings the glove in front of his face. McCausland's 1-2 is up and away. 2-2 now the count to Thatch. So some great information from one of the GM Analytics interns for the Kettleers, Jacob Siegel, posting on his Twitter account earlier this week that all 6 of Tanner Thatch's home runs pulled to right field. Now he takes a fastball low and outside, and he goes down on strikes for the first time today. Back-to-back strikeouts for Will McCausland to start off this 7th inning.
Now batting,
That was a good point that you were making about Thatch before, just about his ability to rocket balls into right field. I've really seen Thatch get a hold of a bunch of pitches and blast them deep into right field, whether they be doubles or home runs.
Max Ballou is the batter, another lefty. He takes low and inside, called strike one from McCausland. Yeah, Tanner Thatch with 27 home runs, at UNC Wilmington this past season. Ballou goes around about 60% on the second pitch, and now he's down 0-2. But Tanner Thatch now combining that with his 6 home runs this summer. Only 5 college baseball players have hit more across their summer ball and college seasons. This one's rolled just to the right of the right field line and foul into the glove of Davis Gillespie at first. But Max Ballou staying alive at 0-2. A lot of those guys ahead of Thatch in the home run rankings will be picked tonight in these next upcoming days in the MLB draft. As the next pitch to Max Ballou taken low and inside, it's 1-2. A couple Cape Leaguers as well. As McCausland brings the glove in front of his face and finds his 4th strikeout in a row, fanning Max Ballou on a low and outside fastball. So 3 up, 3 down go the Kettleers as McCausland strikes out the side in the top of the 7th. Cotuit still leads 3-1 though as we go to the home half of this inning from Doran Park. You're listening to the Kettleers Baseball on the Kettleers Radio Network. Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Cotuit Library. Since its founding in 1874, the Cotuit Library has served its community with an expansive collection that continues to grow. Their staff is dedicated to serving all ages, offering youth events weekly. The library has dozens of events scheduled throughout the summer, so be sure to head to the website at cotuitlibrary.org to see what's coming up next. The library is located right off Main Street. The Cotuit Library, a proud sponsor of the Kettleers.
From the University of Florida.
So a new pitcher enters into the ball game for the Kettleers. They'll be the third arm used today. First lefty employed by Mike Roberts. It'll be Cade Fisher, who just completed his 2nd season at Florida this spring and will be making his 3rd appearance for the Kets this summer. And Alex, we've already seen him in a couple of appearances this year, facing Falmouth, facing Brewster. What have you liked from him so far?
Fisher is, like you mentioned, Joe, this being his 3rd appearance so far this summer, has gone 2 2/3, has really limited the hits, only allowing 2 hits, given up 1 run, has only walked a batter and struck out 3. And when Cade Fisher, the lefty's in on his game, he's getting ahead of hitters, he's throwing strikes. And out of the 40 pitches he threw against Brewster, 23 were strikes. And saw that from him during his freshman year. Made it to the All-SEC freshman team, 27 appearances as a true freshman, and had really good numbers, a 6-0 record, and a 3.110 ERA.
Yeah, really did it all. It was in the back end of that bullpen at times for Florida, closing out a pair of ball games, but also a 3.1 ERA as a freshman in college is pretty incredible. Went on this past season to have a 7.14 ERA in 26 games, 9 of which were starts. So we'll be facing Mason Neville to lead off this bottom of the 7th frame. James Ellwanger retiring 5 of the 6 batters he faced by way of the strikeout. Or I guess he faced 8 batters, but of the 6 outs he recorded, 5 by way of the K. So the first pitch from Cade Fisher to Mason Neville is low and inside on the breaking ball. Neville backs up out of the way of it, and he is up in the count 1-0. So far today, though, he's 0 for 2. Fisher with the all-black glove above his belt now brings it in front of his face. And from the windup, the 1-0 pitch, it's another breaking ball dotted on the low part of the zone to even it up at 1-1. So the first time out we saw Cade Fisher, that was on the 4th of July. He went 1 inning pitched, walked 1 batter, struck out a batter. And that was one where, as you mentioned, was getting ahead of batters and worked really efficiently. And now a third straight breaking ball, and that one was fanned at and missed. Mason Neville back to 1-2. Infield will be shifted slightly to the right, the pull side for the left-handed swinging Mason Neville. Thatch playing close to the line at first. 1-2 from Fisher. Another breaking ball. He has to reach out over the plate and sends a slow tapper towards Fisher, who will run that to the first base bag, flip to Thatch for the first out.
Cade Fisher also
Now batting,
entering the transfer portal, announced his destination. He's going from Florida to Auburn. That's an example when Cade Fisher's at his best. Just working weak contact and getting the left fielder and lefty Mason Neville just to roll over on a pitch.
4 straight breaking balls, and now facing the right-handed swinging Houston, who sends a hard grounder to Jaron Advincula, who's up with it gunning, and he was in perfect position to field that ground ball for the second out.
Houston hit that ball hard, but like you mentioned, Joe, Jaron Advincula just in perfect position. And 2 quick outs for Cade Fisher, both via the ground out.
So these relief pitchers for Bourne and now for Cotuit have been really efficient. Saw Will McCausland work a 3-up, 3-down top of the 7th inning, and now 2 quick outs in the bottom half. Cam Kojal, though, has been the toughest out in this Bourne lineup today. First pitch he sees from Fisher. Here it comes. It's a fastball low and outside, called to strike 1. Kojal is 3 for 3 with 3 singles and was caught stealing trying to get second to end that 5th inning. Fisher, black glove in front of his face from the windup. He deals a ball that's swatted high down the right field line, hammered by Cam Kojal, but it twists out of play. So he was all over that second pitch from Cade Fisher, but now down in the count 0-2. Infield and outfield playing straight up for the left-handed swinging Kojal. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, low and outside, and Kojal doesn't budge. 1-2. Kojal struggled through his young campaign, 12 games, 186 hitter. 5 of his 8 hits, though, going into this game were all doubles, as he takes a fastball on the outer edge for a called strike 3. The first strikeout of the game for Cade Fisher, and 3-up, 3-down go the Braves in this 7th frame. So we played 7 from Doran Park. Cotuit still in control, 3-1, as we go to the top half of the 8th frame here on the Kettleers Radio Network. Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com. When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today. For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net. Will McCausland will return to the bump for the Braves here in this top of the 8th inning.
21, Hall.
And he will be throwing to a future teammate, Nathan Hall, who's set to go to South Carolina this upcoming season. And the first pitch he sees is a high fastball that he fans through 0-1. Hall so far today is 1 for 3, a single his last time up in the 5th inning. Was the 3rd man in this Cotuit lineup to face McCausland, went 0 for 2 against the starter Thompson. And now he takes at knee height to go back to 0-2 here. A nice pitch by McCausland. Dots the lower half, and it's 0-2. Infield and outfield will play straight up for Nathan Hall. The next pitch is a fastball too far outside. Hall takes it's 1-2. Against Bourne so far this season, including today, Nathan Hall 3 for 8. A run scored, a couple strikeouts And a double as the next pitch. He shoots that one straight back up the middle into center field. That one hammered off the bat of Nathan Hall, who picks up his second straight base knock.
Nathan Hall, who fell behind in the count 0-2 there, just got a pitch right over the heart of the plate.
Now batting.
Just lines that
South Carolina.
right back up the middle. A hard line drive for Nathan Hall, who just continues to produce when his number gets called upon.
Yeah, Nathan Hall really proving why he should be in the lineup pretty much every single day on Friday night in Harwich, as Nolan Naraki lays down the bunt down the third base line. Holcomb is charging in, throws on the run to first to get the out there, but Hall safely scampers into scoring position.
We've seen that a bunch from Nolan Naraki this summer, being able to lay down
Now
bunts,
batting,
and does
the
his
catcher
job
for
there,
North
getting it
Texas University,
down the third
number
base
33,
line and
Grant J.
moving Nathan Hall into scoring position with just one out.
So here's Grant J now with the runner on second. Jay so far today is 0 for 3, a pair of flyouts and a strikeout. Righty on righty matchup. First pitch from McCausland is a fastball over the heart of the plate, called a strike one. So Grant J hammering a ball in the midst of his fourth inning at bat down the left field line, but it twisted into foul territory. Could have been his fourth home run of the summer. It ended up being another strikeout for him, and now he takes low and outside. It's 1-1. So the runner on second is Nathan Hall. Takes a 5-step lead there, and now the next pitch is a low and outside fastball, called a ball two. Grant J in the driver's seat at 2-1. Jay, a .296 hitter this past season at Dallas Baptist. In his last 3 games is 1 for 13. And now he gets underneath this one, popping it up into right center field. Ethan Conrad into the alleyway, settles under it, and makes the grab. Nathan Hall will have to stay put at second, and there are 2 gone in this top of the 8th.
Jay got well underneath that fly ball into right field. And has done a good job making contact today. Is 0 for 4 with 3 flyouts, 1 to left field, 1 to center, and 1 to right. So good job for Jay cutting down the strikeouts. Just 1 so far today, but besides that long fly ball that we saw him hit in the 4th inning, really haven't seen anything hit hard off the bat of Grant Jay.
One guy we've had seen hit the ball hard so far today is Timo Becerra, who takes a strike one, and he put a hard hit line drive through the right side of the infield his last time up. He's 1 for 2, walked in the 2nd inning. Now the 0-1 pitch from McCausland. This one hit hard into right field, charging in his Conrad, and on the run he will make the catch just in front of his chest for out number 3. So the Kettleers once again will put a man in scoring position in this 8th inning. They leave him stranded, and with a 3-1 lead, we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. You're listening to Cotuit Baseball on the Kettleers Radio Network.
The Cape Cod League All-Star Game is just a few weeks away. Cheer on your favorite Kettleers as they square off with some of the best players on the Cape. This year's game will be played in Falmouth on July 27th. The gates open up at 1:30 p.m. ahead of the 6 o'clock first pitch. All-Star Game tickets can be found at www.capecodleague.com/allstargame. Or you can find out more information about the tickets at the Kettleers store.
The Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there. Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers website. So we move into the bottom of the 8th inning from Doran Park, Cotuit with a 3-run lead over the Bravos. They'll be sending the heart of their lineup up to the plate here with Ethan Conrad, Braden Holcomb, Chris Stanfield batting against Cade Fisher. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 to face the lefty. And Alex, it's interesting to say, but with the 40-game season in the CCBL this year, this will be the second, barring a playoff appearance, this will be the second and final time we're at Doran Park this year.
That's crazy. It felt, the season just continues to fly by.
Yeah.
To it 14-9 so far, but crazy that this is the second and last time we're coming here. Just a beautiful ballpark, and really turned out to be, once again, another excellent night for baseball after the rain out just one night ago.
It's crazy the difference a day can make, as this is just a perfect night for baseball. Cade Fisher will start his second inning of work, brings the glove in front of his face, and that's on a low spinner off the end of the bat of Conrad, charging in Becerra. Throw is scooped up by Thatch at first for out number one. The entire Bourne dugout erupted with noise. They thought Conrad was safe, but a bang-bang play at first, and Silvio Martinez says that they got him for out number one.
That was a really close play at the bag there. Timo Becerra had to hurry up his throw as Conrad, with excellent speed, busting it down the first baseline. Really made that such a competitive play, but he is retired and going to be another conversation here.
This will be the fourth discussion between Scott Landers and this umpiring crew, and the second discussion with Silvio Martinez Jr., the first base ump, who walks all the way down to the third base line where Scott Landers was standing. Hears him for about a half a second and then turns around, and they will continue to exchange some words as Martinez heads back to his first base corner, as does Scott Landers, who's still letting Martinez hear it, but he's going to have to put up with it because there's one out in this bottom of the eighth. So frustrating night for Scott Landers and this Bourne Braves team, who have 7 hits on the board but just 1 run, and they have left plenty on base. The first pitch to Braden Holcomb is a pitch that's outside, gloved by Jay in the lefty batter's box, and Braden Holcomb is ahead 1-0. The lights are on here at Doran Park. Clear skies, as we were just talking about before. Light blue darkening to a darker purple, as this one's hit off the end of the bat of Holcomb and grounded towards the on-deck circle of Bourne. 1-1 the count to him. He's 2 for 3 back-to-back singles after a weak ground out in the first. So a great way for Holcomb to respond, who's batting fourth today in Landers' lineup, and the 1-1 pitch from Fisher is a breaking ball low and outside. It just missed. 2-1 the count to Holcomb. Got the middle infielders playing back. Luke Hansen about 12 feet off the line at third and playing just back of the bag, as is Tanner Thatch at first. Outfield shifted a bit to the right. The 2-1 pitch. Holcomb takes a breaking ball that turns in and enters in on the back door. It's 2-2. So it's been an inconsistent day at the plate for the Bravos. Holcomb has been consistent, though. He's 2 for 3, and the next pitch is a breaking ball that's outside, and the count will run full to the right-handed swinging Holcomb out of Vanderbilt. So far against the Kets this season, he's 1 for 6 with 4 strikeouts. That's not including his numbers today, though, improving to 2 for 9. The payoff pitch from Fisher. Holcomb gets underneath that one, fouls it off towards the right and way out of play, as he will remain fighting at 3-2. Fans in their lawn chairs just behind the Bourne dugout and in between that and the press box. Down the left field and right field lines, some Cotuit fans just to our right in the all-grassy area at Doran Park. 3-2. That one in off the hands of Holcomb. He swats it foul once more down the right field line.
7 pitches between Holcomb and Cade Fisher here, back-to-back foul balls, as Holcomb doing a good job staying alive in this at-bat.
Slightly closed off stance, waves the all black barrel bat above his navy blue batting helmet. Now Cade Fisher will take some time, step off the back of the rubber and see the pitches once more from Grant Jay, and that is going to be a pitch clock violation. Brandon Holcomb will head to first with the 3-2 count, and he reaches for the first time today.
Now Mike Roberts isn't happy with that call there, as Fisher stepped off the mound.
Yeah, and you could hear Roberts saying that he stepped off before the pitch clock went off, but there's potential that there's maybe those extra second or two for Martinez at first to react to it. You know, oftentimes we see that in football with the play clock. Sometimes you get an extra second or two of leeway when it hits 0, but unsure to tell if he ran out of time there. So the entire umpiring crew, a couple feet up that first base line, will have a discussion in the infield grass. And now Silvio Martinez will walk over to Scott Landers. These two are going to talk again. And it looks like he is going to give an explanation to Landers. And the runner on first, Braden Holcomb, makes the slow walk back down the first base line. So it looks like they're going to forego this pitch clock violation.
So Braden Holcomb making the slow trot back to the batter's box here.
And we can hear Braden Holcomb on our crowd mic right now asking the home plate umpire, why am I coming back? The only explanation I think I can think of is that they ruled that Fisher was able to step off in time. So his at-bat will continue. Holcomb with a 3-2 count. Cade Fisher with the glove just above his belt. He'll bring the black leather in front of his face after shaking off a few signs. And the 3-2 offering once more. Called strike 3. Dotted at knee height, and Braden Holcomb can't believe it. It's his first strikeout of the day, 5th against the Kettleers this season, and the second out of this bottom of the 8th.
Now batting.
Holcomb flung that bat back all the way to the Bourne dugout on the third base side, and what a turn of events there. Holcomb thought he reached on the pitch clock violation, thought he reached on the walk, but comes back and gets punched out.
Stanfield takes a breaking ball for a called strike 1. Fisher doing a great job of locating that breaking ball. Whether it's to right-handed pitchers or right-handed batters, left-handed batters, doesn't matter. This one's hit hard on the one hopper to Advincula, sliding stab to his left, and throw on to first is not in time as Thatch brought his left foot off the bag. It was Advincula making the backhand stab. That was actually to his right, up the middle towards center field. A perfect throw from Advincula, but Thatch just couldn't find his footing. So an uncharacteristic mistake at first for Tanner Thatch, and this inning will continue.
Now batting.
Thatch thought he was on the bag, just couldn't find the first base bag with his back foot there. A really nice play by Jaron Advincula. Sliding stop up the middle. Thought it would have been a 1-2-3 inning for Cade Fisher, but Chris Stanfield reaches.
An incredible play by Jaron Advincula, but they'll say that one goes down as a hit for Stanfield. So that hitting streak for Stanfield continues. He reaches base for the 12th straight game and improves to 1 for 4. That's the 8th hit on the board today for the Braves. The first pitch is low and outside. Grant J can't find it. His throw on to second after locating it just to his left. Bounces into Timo Becerra, but Stanfield is safe at second. Tough to get that guy on the base pass with great speed, and he advances into scoring position with 2 gone. Yeah, Stanfield with 5 stolen bags on the season, but that one, a wild pitch getting away from Grant J. And now, down in the count is Fisher to Becerra, who's working from the stretch, takes a look at second. The pitch is a fastball right in front of the thighs of Becerra for a called strike 1. So 2-1 to count to him. Becerra has reached base today 3 times, still looking for his first official at-bat. 2 walks and a hit by pitch. Lefty on lefty matchup as Fisher comes set. The 2-1. Breaking ball, cut on and missed. A big cut there from Becerra to send it back to 2-2.
Becerra was looking to blast his second home run this summer. A massive rip out of the 2-1 offering from Cade Fisher.
He comes set with the black glove just in front of his belt. Peeks at second once and now twice, and the 2-2 home is a fastball up and away. Jay out of the crouch to field it, and the count's full. So another full count here faced by Cade Fisher and worked by one of these Braves hitters. This time it's Tristan Becerra. Hasn't faced Cade Fisher yet. The 3-2 offering. Chopper towards Timo Becerra, who's charging in on the infield grass. Just behind the mound he throws, and it's well in time to get Becerra by 3 steps at first to end the bottom of the 5th frame. Still some jarring between the Bourne bench and the Kettleers infield, but we will move into the top of the 9th inning. The Kettleers leading 3-1. They'll be trying to add on to that score when we return here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-9999 6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
With 30 plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Top of the ninth inning from Doran Park. Kettleers leading 3-1. Jaron Advincula will lead off this frame. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Kettleers. Advincula, Hansen, and Taylor. And another multi-hit game at the plate for Jaron Advincula, who's 2 for 3 actually now, reached on fielder's choice his last time up. And he really needed this game after struggling through his last couple.
You make a great point, Joe. Is Jaron Advincula
Now batting,
back-to-back
University of California, Berkeley,
hitless performances? Rare to see that. That's the first time that's happened all year where Advincula has had back-to-back hitless performances, but of course in Jaron Advincula fashion, back to his hitting ways and another multi-hit performance so far today.
So he shows the bunt and takes a ball low and outside from the new pitcher for Bourne. And now he's ahead in the count, 1-0. It'll be Justin West out of Louisville. He goes into his windup and deals. The 1-0 pitch is down the heart of the plate, called to strike one. Advincula not showing bunt there. Looked like he might have just been trying to catch this infield sleeping, as both corners will play even with their bags. The 1-1 pitch is a looping breaking ball, hit on the ground, past the diving first baseman, back to second, and the throw comes in from Kojal. Nobody was covering the bag, though, and Jaron Advincula advances to first for his third hit of the ball game.
West, the lefty, fell off the opposite side of the mound, so threw an extra yardage over there to first base, but was slow to getting over to the bag, so Advincula reaches for the fourth time. So reached in every at-bat today and picks up his third base hit.
And now here's Luke Hansen, upright batting stance from the right side, facing the lefty West, who takes a look at first, and Advincula is back in standing up. So that's 4 straight plate appearances where Advincula has reached. Make it 5 after reaching in the 9th inning at Harwich on Friday night. The pitch is grounded up the first base line by Luke Hansen and picked up in foul territory. Davis Gillespie flipping it back to his pitcher. Showing bunt that time was Luke Hansen, trying to advance the runner into scoring position. But now down in the count is the right-handed swinger out of Virginia. Justin West making 12 appearances at Louisville this past season. From the stretch, he throws a big looping curveball that falls in too far outside to Hansen, and it's 1-1. Hansen 1 for 3 today, a single in the 4th inning, couple of strikeouts bookending that at bat. 1-1. Shows bunt, pulls it back on another breaking ball. Also had to tuck his back right foot back as that one nearly hit him, and it's 2-1. So the sky's darkening above Doran Park. The lights are on, but what were once light blue skies are turning to a dark purple. And the 2-1 pitch to Hansen, it barely tips off of his bat and goes back to the backstop. So likely putting that bunt scenario to rest with the count now 2-2. Advincula standing on first base. Hansen awaits this 2-2. Here it comes. He shows bunt, fouls it off, and Hansen will go down for the first out of this top of the 9th inning. So despite 2 strikes in the count, still being aggressive going for that bunt.
You rarely see players go for the bunt on 2 strikes, but Hansen doesn't lay it down, so he's retired for a 3rd strikeout today and trying to move Jaron Advincula over in scoring position, but Hansen unable to do so.
And now there is a baseball that crept onto the field and
Now batting,
just
lefty
in front of the fence and right.
number 20.
Cam Schulke is warming up for the Kettleers out there. And Devin Taylor is the batter as the lineup card flips back over the top. Advincula back into first base standing on another pickoff attempt from Justin West. So Devin Taylor, another good day at the plate, even though hasn't been able to make a difference by hitting the ball, has reached and scored a run, scored on a balk, reached on an error, and is 0 for 3 other than that. Now he takes a look at the first pitch breaking ball, checked his swing, but watched it all the way through, and it's a called ball 1. Going into this game since returning from Team USA, 7 for 20 with 2 homers and 4 RBIs, was the left-handed swinger out of Indiana. Now he waits against the lefty, West, who throws a fastball on the outer half, called a strike 1. So 1-1 the count to Devin Taylor, who gets his 3rd straight start in the leadoff spot for the Kettleers. Going into this ball game, 4 for 7 with 2 homers and 3 walks in that position. Time called by the home plate umpire. And he's going to issue a warning, it looks like, Alex, to somebody on the bench for Bourne. Appears to be Scott Landers.
We've seen Scott Landers get into it with Silvio Martinez on a couple of calls over there at first base, and now an official warning from home plate umpire Warren Nicholson.
It's been a really frustrating night for Scott Landers. There have been a lot of controversial calls, but mainly those 2 errors for Bourne have been the difference, as this one's hit hard and high out of play above the snack shack down the left field line, and the count's 1-2 to Devin Taylor.
This is a Bourne team that's playing really good baseball as of late. They've won their last 3 games, and after struggling to begin the season, they win today. They're even up their record at 500, would be 11-11-2.
Next pitch to Taylor, bounces in front of home plate. Good block by Ben Hartle, who locates it just in front of the plate here in the infield dirt to send this count to 2-2 on Taylor. Yeah, this is a really important game for the Braves. Entering this ball game 10-11-1. And now the next pitch to Devin Taylor misses low and outside. The count will be run full to him. Bourne getting their game against Falmouth postponed yesterday. They were going to head down to Gov Fuller Field to play the Commodores. They'll play that game on Thursday. Advincula has to plop back on the bag at first base, getting that jersey dirty once more. Of course, Bourne extra cautious with this 3-2 count, 1 out in the inning. There's a chance Advincula's going here. Justin West with the all blonde glove brings it set just above his belt and will now throw back to first. Advincula's there standing up. Made a motion to the first base coach, Will Thompson, there, saying that he shortened his lead slightly after getting picked off at there. So now he will take a couple steps back to first base bag and now extend it. 3-2 pitch is tipped into the glove of Hartle, and down goes Devin Taylor on strikes for the 2nd time today.
Taylor frustrated with himself after that, just was visibly
Carolina,
frustrated. Said a couple
30,
of words to
Tanner
himself as he walked back to the dugout after his 2nd strikeout of the day, now 1 for 5. Has reached twice, though, did reach on an error.
West takes a look at first. Now he throws the first one to Tanner Thatch, misses low and outside. Thatch, since the double in the first inning, is 0 for 3. A couple groundouts and a looking strikeout. But ahead in the count 1-0 here, facing Justin West for the first time, who comes set. Now we'll throw back at first, and Advincula's in there standing. So far in 4 appearances this summer, West has finished 1 game but allowed 5 earned runs, good for a 5.19 ERA. 1-0 pitch to Thatch. Fastball low and outside, called a strike 1. Now 16 strikeouts on the season for West in 9 innings pitched. He's set. The 1-1 pitch. Thatch takes a big cut at that breaking ball and tips it into the glove of Ben Hartle. Now down in the count 1-2. That flag in center field, American flag, sitting just above their back-to-back Cape League championship winning flag. They are standing motionless in center. Thatch gets another breaking ball, rolls it on the ground towards second. Running in on it is Kojal. He'll make the short toss to first, received by Gillespie for out number 3. So the Kettleers will put one on a base knock by Jaron Advincula. They'll leave him stranded at first, and they are looking to close out their 15th win of the season when we return in the bottom of the 9th from Doran Park. Don't go anywhere on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
7, 8, and 9 will come up to the plate in the bottom of the 9th inning. The last chance for the Bourne Braves. It'll be Ben Hartle, Davis Gillespie, and Mason Neville. Unless Scott Landers decides to pull some guys off the bench, those will be the 3 that we will see against Cade Fisher, who starts his 3rd inning of work. There is a righty warming up in the Kettleers bullpen. Mike Roberts leaving Fisher out there, though, for the time being to face Ben Hartle, who's 0 for 3. He brings the black glove in front of his face, and the first one to the right-handed swinger out of Kansas is a breaking ball, enters in on the back door, and it's a called strike 1. Ben Hartle today, a couple of strikeouts and reached on a fielder's choice back in the 4th inning. Next offering from Fisher is a fastball, too high upstairs above the letters of Hartle to send the count to 1-1. So the bullpen vacates for the Braves. They head down the left field line along the fence line. And the 1-1 pitch from Fisher to Hartle is outside, 2-1. Kettleers bullpen is on the first base side. Still a packed bullpen above the short right field fence. 300 down the right field line, 330 to the left field corner, and 395 to straightaway center. 2-1 pitch from Fisher is a fastball, and take a big swing out of Hartle to send the count to 2-2. So he has a chance to punch out Hartle for the 3rd time today, does Fisher. Already with 2 strikeouts in this outing. The 2-2. Fastball, lifted foul over our right shoulders and out of play.
And Joe, this is a bottom of the lineup for Bourne, who has really struggled so far today. Just 1 for 9 with 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, the 1 hit coming off the bat of Davis Gillespie, who waits on deck. Fisher with the black glove in front of his face. The 2-2 once more is a fastball up and away, called to ball 3. So a good eye there by Ben Hartle, who fell behind in this count, but has worked it all the way back up to full. Luke Hansen is playing 10 feet off the line at 3rd, couple shades back of the bag. Middle infielders are back. Tanner Thatch, same depth as Hansen, as this one's fouled straight back right at us and into the net. Hey, good thing that net's there, right?
Yeah, really helping us out there.
Nearly went through one of the camera holes. There's a camera put onto one of the poles that hoist this netting up around Doran Park. It nearly went right through the hole and hit that camera. 3-2 pitch. Hartle takes upstairs by his helmet, and he reaches first by way of the walk. That's exactly what the Bravos needed. Leadoff man on to start off this bottom of the 9th.
That's something that the Cotuit pitching staff has really done a good job of, is limiting the amount of walks that they've given up. That was just the 3rd walk today.
Time called by Scott Landers at the 3rd base coach's box, and it looks like they will send out a pinch runner, Alex. Ben Hartle, the catcher, has advanced to 2nd today, but that was on a wild pitch, so likely wise to bring in a speedier guy from the roster.
Now pinch running at first base.
So this is the
number 4,
fourth
Clay
at-bat of the day
Grady.
for Davis Gillespie. It'll be Clay Grady, who started both games at leadoff against the Kettleers in their first 2 matchups. Didn't get the start today, but now getting looks as a pinch runner. He takes his lead at first. About 5 steps, being held on by Thatch. Fisher will throw back to first to reset the pitch clock. And facing Davis Gillespie for the first time in this ballgame. Gillespie, the only man in the lineup for Bourne to not face Fisher yet, who takes a look back at first, and back in standing is Grady.
Grady with 8 stolen bases so far through 16 games this summer with the Braves.
First pitch to Gillespie, breaking ball down at the bottom of the zone, called to strike 1. But with the lefty on the mound, definitely a bit more difficult to pick up on his move. As the 0-1 pitch is rattled on the ground towards third. Hansen is up with it, gunning to second. Advincula's relay to first is in time for 2. 5 + 4 + 3 equals a double play for the Kettleers to start off this bottom of the 9th inning, and there are 2 gone with Mason Neville digging in.
Just a massive pitch right there from Cade Fisher as Davis Gillespie rolled over on that ground ball, hit it right to Luke Hansen at third, and just a really solid turn by the second baseman, Jaron Advincula. Had that ball in his mitt for, didn't even feel like any time, made the strong throw over to pick up the 5-4-3 double play.
First pitch from Fisher to Neville is in off of his hands. He saws it off towards the campus of Upper Cape Tech that surrounds this Doran Park. Skies continue to darken as that scoreboard in right center field showing off those all red numbers. Cotuit leading 3-1. The next pitch from Cade Fisher is up in the zone, and it's 1-1. Neville is 0 for 3. Ground out up the middle infield, a ground out back to the pitcher, and a strikeout swinging. The 1-1 pitch from Fisher. Hit hard off the end of the bat of Neville, but it twists towards the camera well just beyond the Bourne dugout. A foul ball, and now the Braves are down to their final strike. Infield shifted slightly to the pull side for the left-handed swinging Neville. Other than that, the outfield is straight up. The 1-2 pitch from Fisher is cut on and missed, strike 3. Ball game over. The Kettleers hold on to win it 3-1 at Doran Park and take down the Bourne Braves for the 3rd time this season. An offensive output where they grabbed the lead early in the top of the 1st inning. The Braves got 1 run back in the bottom of the 1st, but that's when their offense was silenced from there. 8 shutout innings pitched by the Kettleers staff. Joey Volchko, James Ellwanger, and Cade Fisher combined for 9 one-run innings at Doran Park tonight to elevate the Kettleers to 15-9 on the season.
And it was an excellent job by the Kettleers bullpen. James Ellwanger and Cade Fisher eating up 5 innings, allowed just 2 hits and struck out 8 hitters, only walking 1. But overall, Joe, you mentioned this pitching staff, 9 innings, just 1 run, 3 walks, 14 strikeouts, really shutting down this Braves offense after they strung together 2 hits in that bottom of the 1st.
And it was the Kettleers putting the ball in play more so, just as they did the last 2 times they played this team. 2 unearned runs here at Doran Park back in late June, and they take advantage with 2 errors on the board for the Bourne Braves today, and 2 of those runs for the Kettleers going unearned. How huge is that, just to be able to continue to put the ball in play?
Well, it's massive, and Cotuit tonight finishing with 9 hits and really doing a good job getting contributions up and down the lineup and just making sure that you're not striking out and putting balls in play, really making this Bourne defense work. As we've seen so far this year that this is a Bourne team that is prone to making mistakes so far in the field. They did so tonight with 2 errors, and those 2 runs proving vital in today's win.
And it was an offense that took advantage earlier on in this ball game. They led it 3-1 after 4 innings of play, Alex. How huge was it for the bullpen to get back on track and pitch another scoreless outing between Ellwanger and Fisher?
And we've, over the last few games, we've seen this Cotuit bullpen really struggle in late game situations, give up a lot of runs, but it was just massive. Get the ball to James Ellwanger, who really had the strikeout pitch working, struck out 5 hitters in 2 innings while tossing just 38 pitches, and Cade Fisher was even more dominant coming out of the bullpen. 3 innings, didn't allow a hit, just allowed 1 walk and striking out 3 while throwing 39 pitches, 27 strikes. And even the starter, Joey Volchko, all 3 of these pitches did a really nice job getting ahead of hitters. But it's massive knowing that the offense could only score 3 runs, hand it to the bullpen with a 2-run lead, and know that it's safe.
And that's exactly what they did tonight. Cotuit putting together the offense and pretty much getting the job done in any way that they could and doing a good job of keeping the Braves off the base pass. But when they did, they held runners incredibly well. And the Braves' production with runners in scoring position clearly falling flat tonight.
And Bourne tonight, 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. They left 8 guys on base. And you saw Scott Landers really just be frustrated with a lot of calls that happened in this game. And there were a lot of bang-bang plays there that went the way of Cotuit, but just more so frustrated with how his team played. This is a Bourne team that won their last 3 games, really started to pick it up. But to play decently well, have 7 hits, and have runners in position to come around and score, and only put up 1 run, just a lot of frustration from that Bourne side of things tonight.
We've talked so much about the consistency of this team night in and night out, whether it's innings 1 through 9, the batters in the lineup 1 through 9, and Cotuit doing a great job 1 through 9 once again tonight. But what does it say about this team to have maybe an inconsistent couple of nights this past week, but then to rattle off 2 straight games where the offense was firing on all cylinders, but then again tonight the pitching staff really getting it done?
Well, it shows you the resiliency of this Cotuit Kettler baseball team. Is they know that it's going to be hard to play perfect all 40 games this summer. You're going to have days where the offense struggles, and then there's going to be days where the pitching struggles. But for the Kettleers to score 3 runs tonight and just give the keys to your bullpen and say, here, go throw 5 innings and give us a chance to win the ball game, and the bullpen coming through and doing it, it's just a massive victory. And one that Mike Roberts, I'm curious to hear what he says with Adele Huffman just momentarily, but he has to be happy with this team's performance. He said a couple of days ago that he likes playing in those 1-0, those 2-0, those close run ball games and pulling away with wins in those games. He has to be happy tonight, picking up the 3-1 victory over Bourne.
But the offense in the bottom half of this order really doing a great job. I mean, Jaron Advincula, a 3-for-4 night with an RBI and a run scored, was hit a little bit of a rough patch where his batting average this past week dipped below 400, was the only player in the CCBL with a batting average above 400. But how huge is it for him tonight to have another multi-hit game?
It was massive, and that was the biggest difference, in my opinion, from the Cotuit side of things to the Bourne side of things. And that was something that we talked about is Cotuit's the bottom 3 hitters in their lineup, Timo Becerra, Jaron Advincula, and Luke Hansen combined for 5 base hits out of 11 at-bats. And anytime you're consistently getting guys on the bottom of your order, you're doing something right. You're always going to have guys on for Devin Taylor, Tanner Thatch, Max Ballou, who struggled a bit tonight. But on the flip side for Bourne, this is an offense that, and especially their bottom 3, that really went cold. Just 1 hit between Ben Hartle, Davis Gillespie, and Mason Neville. So, and a guy like Jaron Advincula, who was 0 for his last 7, was struggling at the dish, but really put everything together. And tonight reached at base in all 4 of his at-bats. It was 3 for 4 and just doing Jaron Advincula type of things. Even made a couple of really nice plays in the field.
We've talked a lot about this team's success on the road. What do you think really the big key is in terms of finding that road success, and once again with another road win in a different fashion, not a fashion where it's 16-8 at Harwich the other night at White House Field? They win this game 3-1.
Well, just this team playing away from Lowell Park. It's a team that plays together, sticks together, and they're doing a good job coming on the road, playing in tougher environments, and pulling away with wins. Seen a lot of comeback victories on the road. The win against Hyannis, the win against Wareham just a few days ago. So this Cotuit team, even when their backs are against the wall, they're doing a good job away from Lowell Park, and that's what good teams do. They win at home, but they're even better when they're on the road.
That's right, and they'll be on the road once again tomorrow night against Yarmouth Dennis, the best team in the East Division. And to play against the best teams in the division, you got to do all the little things right, which is fielding, hitting, and having production with runners in scoring position, not walking too many guys. So for the Kettleers going into tomorrow, what has to be the same from tonight's game into tomorrow to try to get the win against the Red Sox?
Well, hopefully for Cotuit, they have the same pitching performance. Anytime your bullpen could come out here and only allow 2 hits, just 1 walk, you're going to take that all the times that you can get it. But this is a YD team that's currently winning 5-4 against Hyannis, who's 13-9, YD 15-7. So should be another great game tomorrow for the Kettleers.
Yeah, they lead Hyannis, who's also 13-9. Cotuit improving to 15-9 tonight, and a big win as they get some breathing room from the Harbor Hawks, who are creeping up on them at third place in the West Division standings. And after beating Cotuit on Thursday night, overtaking the Kettleers for the second spot in the West Division. But for Orleans, they're also tied with Chatham after 5 innings at Veterans Field. 10-8 is the win for the Whitecaps over Falmouth at Stony Brook Field. Of course, that game completing because there are no lights at Stony Brook Field, just as there are at Lowell Park. But a late one here tonight as the Cotuit wins at 3-1 against the Bourne Braves. Wareham, a 6-3 win in Harwich tonight. Cotuit with a big win at White House Field 2 nights ago. Well, Mike Roberts will be joined by Adele Huffman in just a few moments for postgame at Doran Park as the Kettleers improve to 15-9 on the 2024 campaign. So we'll send it to Adele Huffman and be right back on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Thanks, Joe and Alex. What an amazing broadcast. My name's Adele Huffman, joined alongside head coach Mike Roberts, and this is the 10th inning. Coach Roberts, what a game out there. Thoughts on tonight?
Well, pitching and defense. Volchko did a fantastic job of getting us started. I love the look in his eye. It is a look that says, okay, I'm going to win the battle every time. And then Ellwanger, in his last appearance, came right behind him with a very similar look in his eye. And then Fisher, somebody's been out in the College World Series and got a lot of experience. I felt like he was the right guy to come back tonight, and that's his last outing. So we lose Ellwanger and Fisher, which we hate to lose, but we're thankful for their contributions here while they've been here, and just a fantastic ball game tonight.
And Coach, you had that low-scoring ball game tonight that you were talking about, and James Ellwanger leading the Cotuit Kettleers in strikeouts. What have you liked from him this past season?
Yeah, I just told him. I think the thing that I enjoy and like the most is people are looking for his fastball, and they know he has a wonderful arm. But what I like is he has the get me over breaking ball that I really like, kind of like Thatcher Hurd did. And so if he's down 1-0 and he throws the get me over curveball, that makes him a lot more effective. And for Volcho and Ellwanger, both of them being freshmen this year, I think they're extremely mature. Now, Volcho threw a lot more innings than James did at DBU, but the maturity level, I think, is incredible, and I think their future is so bright.
And speaking about DBU, James Ellwanger and Grant J pitching and catching together at college and here, how does that help their chemistry on the field?
Oh, one of my responsibilities, and I talked to their head coach, Dan, a couple of days ago, is one of my responsibilities is to help build that here. And, of course, being a former catcher, I work with Grant a lot, and I get on him a lot, hopefully a professional manner, and he takes it really well. And I think he is, but I just think they've done a great job for us and really improved. So, yeah, the battery mates going back to DBU, they got a bright future.
And we can't leave tonight's interview without mentioning the 1995 reunion that occurred yesterday. What was the most special part of that for you?
Most special part was to see that those gentlemen felt like they hadn't missed a beat. 30 years later, they loved each other. They started with the camaraderie right back in as if they were in the dugout, the 12 guys that were here. And that's what happens when teams, whether it be collegiately, whether it be professionally, whether it be in the Cape League or other summer league, when a group stays together the entire summer, you bond. And that's special. The other thing I loved about it is they were young men who are now a lot older men, but they understand the village. They understand how important the Kettleers are to the village of Cotuit. We are kind of, whether I do a good job of coaching and managing or a horrible job, we are the entertainment. I guess sometimes they do laugh at us, and particularly me. But I hope that rubbed off watching those videos yesterday on our club for 2024.
Definitely, Coach. And this is such a special place to spend the summer. And congratulations on a big win tonight. Be sure to tune in tomorrow away 5 p.m.